Nothing can escape time. Yet we build every Rolex to defy its will and to last as long as one may need it. Now, with the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program, any of our watches, no matter how storied their journey, can be set to start anew. Once back in our care, they are rigorously tested and serviced by expert hands. We verify their authenticity, their precision, their durability, their waterproofness, until finally our quality control makes them worthy of a new seal. Thus, reawakening in a pre-owned Rolex boundless opportunities for new adventures. Of course, nothing can escape time, but nothing can ever endure it like a Rolex. Welcome to the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program.
Yo, original OC with you on the OC channel. New videos highlighting the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program. Cool, bunch of new videos dropped by Rolex overnight. Hope everyone is doing well. It is the middle of the day on the 5th of December. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday. Couple of things I want to talk about today. Let's see. First of all, I want to talk about, as you guys trickle in, I want to highlight the fact that overnight, Omega dropped a new release, another addition to the Seamaster collection. And I got to tell you, I'm not a huge fan, but I can imagine that there will be some people who kind of like it. I don't like the mix of materials here. This is apparently titanium, a titanium case, but with a bronze gold bezel, which to me makes absolutely no sense. Really no sense. And they combine that with green aluminum bezel insert and a green dial. I don't know. I just don't get it. It's a green dial, green bezel, titanium case, and then a bronze gold bezel, which is bronze gold is like 9 karat gold. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. So it's 37.5% gold. It's 50% copper, and it's got some tantalum in there as well. But this watch now sells for, it's the same dimensions as all the other watches. This is $10,700 on the mesh bracelet and $9,000. We've got Vimal. I like how he's rebranded to Vimal, by the way, just Vimal, like Cher. What's up? No audio. No audio? Or am I back? Check. All right. Audio's good? All right, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, just Wi-Fi issues. Vimal is rebranded to Vimal. Thank you for being here. You're first. You're first. Dingo Dave in Australia, 3:15 a.m. Good night. Why are you up? Did you get a notification? I apologize. We got CN in the chat. Cheers, OC. Guys, upload the live stream. And by the way, we're going to be covering some news about Hodinkee today as well. It looks like Hodinkee was basically sold for nothing, was sold for pennies on the dollar to Watches of Switzerland. They came out, Watches of Switzerland had a filing overnight, a financial filing, and it revealed that Hodinkee's assets were negative at the time of the acquisition. They literally had zero assets. So absolute disaster for Hodinkee, which at one point was valued at $100 million. It's basically worthless at the time of its liquidation a few months ago. What's up, CN? I think it's a naval thing. The theme, retro future. It's green is a naval thing. Is it like seaweed? Got whole milk in the chat. We got Goldfinger 0808. What's up? We got Tobister McDonkey, which is his real name, by the way. McDonkey is a Scottish name. Shout out to Tobister McDonkey. Are you going to do 1,000 more cringe election jokes today? Reminder, anyone with a brain cell knows Trump won 2020 and will be your president again. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I mean, you reminded everybody. Thank you for doing that. Will we do 1,000 more cringe jokes about elections? No, I don't think so. I don't like to do more than 300 election jokes in any given live stream. I just think that's a reasonable cap. I mean, call me conservative, but I think 300 is a reasonable number. I think beyond that, it does. I think I agree with you, Tobister, that it gets a little bit cringy. So we're going to cap the election jokes at 300 today, just to comply with Mr. McDonkey's request. We got John D, New York City, in the chat. By the way, news yesterday. I was in Manhattan, or very close to. Actually, I was on my way to Manhattan when the United Healthcare CEO was gunned down in an apparent assassination on the streets of New York by the Hilton Hotel on 50th Avenue. Yeah, that was insane. And looks like the suspect is still at large. Still at large. OC is the boss. I'm not sure what I'm the boss of. Probably nothing. Actually, I'm not even the boss here in my own house. 9th to upvote. We have 9 upvotes already? Holy shit, we have 10 upvotes. See, you guys are awesome. I don't even have to beg. There will be no e-begging here on this program. Lie. We need Mookie, says Whole Milk, to develop an election joke ticker to make sure we don't go. Yeah, sorry. If you can do a counter every time I say the word election, that would be awesome. Hey, we got Essie from Germany in the chat. Essie, by the way, another topic of today's show is we will be awarding the prize for U.S.-based pre-owned dealer of the year on this live stream. So I will show you the nominees in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I will reveal the nominees, and then you guys can tell me who you guys want to vote for. But yes, this is the most important election that you guys will face in the next 2 hours. So pay full attention, there's not a single comment about this watch, which means that this watch is not very exciting. Not exciting at all. So let's talk about this. Watches of Switzerland paid £11 million for Hodinkee, which is, it sounds like a lot, but at one point Hodinkee was valued at $100 million. And if you go on to read the article, the way they structured the deal, it's basically the money that's being spent to buy them is coming out of future profits. So the fact that, and there's going to be like no profits. So it's basically they got the brand for free. And what's also interesting is this little thing here says Hodinkee's net assets at the time. Hodinkee's net assets at the time of the acquisition, this is just a few months ago, were valued at minus $100,000. How is that even possible? If you guys know finance, jump on the stream. Let me know what you guys think, but that sounds bad. The company at one point was worth $100 million, and at the time of its liquidation, their assets were negative $100,000, which means what they owed in terms of liabilities exceeded their assets. So their net assets. Absolute disaster. By the way, do you know who I think killed Hodinkee? I think 1916 Company and social media killed Hodinkee. And by the way, that also goes for Waco too and Revolution. I think those guys are on shaky ground. I think the people on Instagram, the people on YouTube, in combination with a strong team at 1916 Company, have basically contributed to Hodinkee's downfall. But a lot of it has to lie at the feet of Hodinkee itself for making extremely poor financial decisions. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. You guys are gonna freak out a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. But hey, we got to do it. It's the end of the year. It's time to name another award. The award for today is US-based pre-owned dealer of the year. And this is a list of audience submissions and potential nominees. So we're going to award three prizes: gold, silver, and bronze, and a couple of honorable mentions. So I have my own personal thoughts. And by the way, if there are names that I missed here, if you want to boot one of the nominees and replace with your own, not a problem. It's any size super chat or super sticker. If you want to move one of the nominees up into one of the prizes, that's easy to do. All it does is require super chat of any size. Same rules apply. Same rules apply as previous elections. So I missed a few. So any super chat will bump one of these nominees and replace with your own. Like, for example, I think, like, looking back on it, like, for example, I would probably put BQ watches on the list, but I forgot BQ watches. I forgot about Pride and Pinion. I forgot about, because like BQ watches isn't US based. Pride and Pinion isn't US based. So I didn't really include them. And I think, but so it's really not, I don't think it was a mistake to leave them off. I did think about them a little bit, but this is US based pre-owned dealer of the year. Let's go through the list of nominees, guys. The 1916 Company, Bucherer, DavidSW, European Watch Company, Nashville Watch, Grand Caliber, Bob's Watches, Avi & Co., Luxury Bazaar, and Vucom. Those are your nominees. Negative assets are liabilities. Yeah, basically, yeah. They basically had more in liabilities than they did in assets, resulting in negative net assets. We're already getting some people in the chat chiming in on who the dealer of the year should be. DavidSW, DavidSW, DavidSW. Maybe they'll win. Maybe. Whole Milk says, unfortunately, the Timepiece Gentleman is not eligible this year. That's correct. He's been incarcerated. Timepiece Gentleman has been defunct. Has been defunct as a pre-owned dealer this year. So they're not eligible. As he says, just kidding. 1916 company hands down. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. This is an audience voted award. Logan says, looks like you've got some extra reverb today. A little bit of extra. Is there a little bit of extra? Hold on, let me check my audio settings. I don't want to be too loud. Nope. Oh yeah, I'm a little bit loud. Let me hold on a second. Is that better? Check, check, check. All right, turn myself down a little bit. Is that better? I don't want to be too loud. Just let me know. I don't want to be too soft either. Hey, Logan, what's up? Thanks for the note. Logan says, my vote goes for Nashville Watch. Nashville represent. Yeah, you guys will get to vote. By the way, I'm going to set a goal too. Setting a goal for the live stream. All right. Let's do it. Goal initiated. Guys, let's name these five. Let's fill the 5 slots. Fill the 5 slots. Any size super sticker or super chat will move one. We'll either replace a nominee or we'll move a nominee up into the top categories. So I have my own personal opinions, but I don't want to bias you guys. I really don't. I don't want to put my finger on the scale and get you guys to think about it. Think about it in the chat. For those of you just joining, by the way, check this out. Not this one, but Omega has introduced a new version. They kind of, Daniel Craig kind of was wearing this. This is it's not full bronze gold, unfortunately. It's not full bronze gold. It's titanium with a bronze gold bezel. And the dial and the bezel are green. Yep. What do you guys think of this? I'll pull this up. Duh. It helps to show the screen. OC. It helps to show the screen. What do you think of this? It's okay. I don't love green. This looks the green and the red's kind of funky, don't you think? And by the way, the link to join the panel is pinned at the top of the chat. So if anybody wants to jump on, feel free. The mall says, I pick IWC for the YouTube channel and the collection. Feel free to vote for them. Yeah, see, Whole Milk says great Christmas watch. It's got the red tipped seconds hand and the red Seamaster. I'm not a big fan of green, I got to be honest. Not a huge fan of the green. I also think it's just silly to have titanium and then bronze gold. The whole thing in bronze gold. Yo, Brian, what's up?
You did say anybody.
Yeah, including you. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We don't have standards here. We can have low quality panel, high quality panel. Listen, people don't have a choice of in the middle of the afternoon. They're stuck with us. So
I figure if you keep spruiking these Swatch Group shitters, I can be on the stream too.
Yeah. Okay. I can turn it off. I can turn it off. Let's go back to and please don't use your previous dealings with European Watch Company, Grand Caliber, a whole bunch of different pre-owned dealers to skew the voting and to skew the nominating process. But actually, you're on the panel, so I can't stop you from doing that. Brody, $2 super chat. Thank you, Brody. He says, replace Vucom with Collector's 1946. Not a problem. Not a problem. There you go. Your wish is my command.
I can say to the entire world, there is only one on this list right now that I would not buy from.
Only one that you would not buy from?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see if I could guess. Guys, guess in the chat which is the one dealer of all of these pre-owned dealers from whom Brian would not buy a watch. Let's see here. I'm gonna say Bob's Watches. But don't answer. Don't answer.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, just let everybody in the chat. Thank you, Brody. Appreciate the super chat. By the way, there's a goal. We need 5 super chats in the first hour. There will be no more goals for the rest of the show. So this is the only goal. And we should be able to hit it because we need 5 super chats to pick one of the current nominees to slot into those 5 slots. So it should be pretty easy, guys. You want to read this one?
Oh, Topster McDonkey says, Ben Clymer said that Hodinkee was doing 100 million in sales. Total BS. No way that's true. Just lies to boost the sale price. He did get rich AF though.
Yes, he did. We've talked about this on the streams before, and I think Hodinkee made a series of disastrous mistakes, buying Crown and Caliber at the peak of the market. And then, I think it was February of 2021 that they bought them, and then having all that inventory dramatically fall in value.
And then not doing anything to improve the Crown and Caliber experience. If anything, they lowered the Hodinkee experience to the Crown and Caliber level.
Yeah. And then, of course, blurring the lines between editorial and sales, spruiking the sales of products that they're authorized dealer for which there were authorized dealers. Never actually saying anything bad about any watches at all. Watered down editorial, milk toast commentary, and just a general feeling of elitism. So all of it contributed. And then you had the rise of social media, and social media became a much more entertaining way of consuming watch news and watch industry. information.
Yeah.
Whole milk ponders that you would not work with Bucherer because of their German name.
No, I've bought and sold to them.
You bought and sold to Bucherer. So have I. I bought.
Right.
I mean, not. I haven't bought pre-owned from Bucherer, but I did I did sell to Bucherer.
All right. I often find their pre-owned prices are a little non-realistic.
I mean, slightly inflated. But they, yeah.
But you know, they're high rent. They're high rent brick and mortar, so that's to be expected.
Since you're on the panel, would you like to? I'll give you the privilege and the honor of actually. You could elevate any of these nominees up into one of the honorable mention categories, and if there are no super chats to come in, which is fine, then that person will be named Gold Pre-Owned Dealer of the Year.
Well, I would like to say European Watch Company is definitely one of my favorites.
Okay. Then let's not waste any time. I'm just going to take European Watch Company. I'm going to move them up here into the honorable mention category. Boom. There you go.
Okay.
If you guys want someone to, that's the perk of being on the panel. You get special privileges.
Yeah, and because of that, they're going to give me $3.82 off my next purchase with them,
which is the equivalent of 0.0003%.
I think they spend that much in bubble wrap for each box.
Collectors 1946. I heard they give good prices. I heard that they give fair prices if you're selling them watches. Have you ever dealt with them before?
Yeah, I've dealt with them. I would say that if I was buying stuff from them, I would want to, depending on the type of piece, I would want to have it independently checked once I bought it. Because the sheer volume of watches they go through, I don't think they open them all up and inspect the movements and do all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep, I get it.
Yeah. But I have nothing bad to say to them. I have them bookmarked.
A lot of people in the community have them bookmarked when they're looking. Like a lot of people in the community they wake up in the morning and they have like 4 or 5 tabs they go through first thing in the morning. Like for me, it's like brush my teeth, comb my hair, get dressed. For the other people, it's like check European watch, check Nashville watch, check collectors 1946.
Let me correct you. You don't actually comb it. You just finger all 3 of them back down in the right direction, and off you go.
Let's not talk about fingering here on the program today. But we can circle back to that very soon. But do you have any thoughts at all on this?
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's another variation. Fantastic. Move on.
And it's pricey too. It's $10,700.
Oh God, what an insult! Next.
Yep. Watches of Switzerland. Let's go through this article real quick. Watches of Switzerland paid. Here's our famous shot of Ben Clymer.
Nice
founder of Hodinkee.
Shot. Thank you.
There
he is. All right.
There he is. Yeah. There's the real shot. Watches of Switzerland paid 11 million pounds, which is the equivalent of $14 million for Hodinkee. Earn out deal, which is a fancy way of saying that they didn't really have to pay anything. We'll see Hodinkee repay the price of its own sale to Watches of Switzerland through future profits. So in other words, they bought Watches of Switzerland, paid for Hodinkee, and Hodinkee has to repay Watches of Switzerland. Oh, you can't make this shit up.
Wait. Hold on. Let's go back through that. Watches of Switzerland paid 11 million pounds sterling for Hodinkee.
Mm-hmm.
Earn-out deal will see Hodinkee repay the price of its own sale to Watches of Switzerland for future profits. All right, let's dissect this for a minute, because this is some corporate mumbo jumbo speak.
Maybe as we go through the article, it'll shed some light on it. Watches of Switzerland Groups valued the Hodinkee brand and media business at 11 million pounds, which is approximately $14 million, when it acquired the company in October of this year. But the deal was structured in a way that will see Hodinkee pay for its own purchase price from future profits, and made no material impact on Watches of Switzerland Group's first half financial period. The valuation, previously unreported, was revealed in a trading statement covering the first half of its financial year from the retail group this morning, a 6-month period to the end of October. Quote, Hodinkee has become the go-to global destination for luxury watch. No, it hasn't. Actually, yeah, I'm going to read this statement. I'm going to insert my own commentary. Hodinkee has become the go-to global destination for luxury watch enthusiasts in the past.
Bullshit.
Offering digital, print, and video content. I've never seen print content from Hodinkee ever in my life.
You haven't seen the magazine?
Never.
I got one for free when they screwed up shipping my my Ed Sheeran G-Shocks.
I get Revolution in the mail. I don't get Hodinkee. Limited edition watch collaborations. Yes, they do those. Most of them are garbage. Alongside watch and jewelry insurance services. Yeah, which those watch and jewelry insurance services are basically rebranded Chubb Insurance. So you just go through Hodinkee, and I have Hodinkee watch insurance, but I know that it's Chubb. So like Hodinkee doesn't make very much money on that. We have successfully integrated Hodinkee's commercial activities. That's intentional. Guys, they've integrated Hodinkee's commercial activities. Which is basically nothing. They're growing and engaged online traffic. It's not growing. Their traffic has shrunk considerably. It's a shell of its former self. And it's being directed to the Watches of Switzerland US e-commerce site. So in other words, there's no Hodinkee website anymore. If you're thinking about buying a watch, all of that traffic goes to Watches of Switzerland now. Yeah.
It's all click-throughs.
We're excited to see Ben Clymer. We had to get Ben Clymer back so we could pretend like there was something going on at Hodinkee. So we probably signed a deal for him to stay with us for 12 months as a figurehead. Returning,
or he got, or he got shackled to the desk and was told to.
Yep. We're excited to see Ben Clymer return to the lead of operations of Hodinkee. That's kind of a way of saying that he was the founder of Hodinkee, but was asleep at the switch. So now he's going to return to because he was there at Hodinkee, but now he's going to return to lead the operations. That's a way of saying guys, he's promised he's actually going to work there now for a while. For the first time since he ceded his role as CEO he ceded his role as CEO in December 2020. Hodinkee will continue to have editorial independence, which that's the problem is they didn't have editorial independence. So they won't continue to have it. One of the reasons why they went bankrupt is because they didn't have editorial independence. Otherwise, they'd be criticizing brands and criticizing watch releases. As a leading editorial and media organization, they're no longer leading. They're no longer a leading editorial and media organization. This will protect Hodinkee's impartial journalism. This is what the hell? Ensuring
I don't know, but there's a lower to middle section of my body that's feeling a little moist just from you reading these words.
This is crazy. Impartial journalism, ensuring continued creation of unmatched editorial content. The only thing that they do that's good is like when they have a celebrity interview, like when they interview like Ed Sheeran about his collection or something like that. Presented through Hodinkee's unique elitist corporate viewpoint and commentary.
Full of corduroy vests and tweed jackets.
Yeah, and loafers with white socks. Today's news is one of the final pieces in the puzzle of how different parts of Hodinkee's business were sold. First, European watch company bought the Crown and Caliber retail brand, which really doesn't make sense because that wasn't worth anything anyway. I mean,
I had a conversation with my guy there about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any insight to share?
Yeah, they bought the website name and the mailing list. And the reason they bought it was to get a younger demographic coming to their website.
Got it. And does that, when you type in Crown and Caliber, does it just redirect over to European Watch Company now?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Let's see. I still have my old bookmark, I think. Crown and Caliber. Crown and Caliber by European Watch Company. Let's see what happens if I click shop. Nothing. Nothing yet. So it hasn't. It's empty, but it's still there.
Guys at European Watch Company, you paid a pretty penny for this Crown and Caliber brand. Please make sure that the website links are being redirected properly.
I doubt they paid a pretty penny.
Okay, they probably paid nothing.
I think they might have been the only one to offer anything.
They also sold all of the inventory to Boneta. Boneta is a gray dealer, a big business-to-business gray dealer here in New York. So the value of the deal was described as low seven figures by company owner Eric Boneta. So basically, they bought the last of the stock at pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Hodinkee.com now directs people looking to buy products to the American Watches of Switzerland e-commerce website. Watches of Switzerland paid £11 million for, quote, goodwill in the brand. But the transaction and ongoing business activity made no financial impact. That's interesting to how that happens. Revenue and profit from 24 days of trading were not material. That makes sense because they don't have any business. And the goodwill recognized is attributable to the profitability of the acquired business and is expected to be deductible for tax purposes as amortized or where not amortized upon a future disposal. A bunch of corporate financial mumbo jumbo.
Look at that last line.
Yeah, look at the last line. Hodinkee's net assets, which is assets minus liabilities, at the time of the acquisition were valued at minus $100,000. So in other words, what they owed exceeded whatever net assets they had by $100,000.
So the definition of bankrupt is when your debts, when money's owed are equal to or greater than your assets on hand.
Assets equals liabilities plus.
So they were bankrupt.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the 11 million pounds and how they're going to pay themselves back for it. I've been involved in a couple of small acquisitions, and we've always looked at, all right, how much are we paying for that, and how long will it be before we recoup that? But we didn't keep it on a separate balance sheet outside of the main listing, out of the main balance sheet. We just said, all right, we're acquiring these brands, we're paying this, we'll pick up X amount of sales from that and maybe some new distribution from that, and it'll be a 3-year payback period, whatever the number was.
Mm-hmm.
But they're keeping this outside their primary balance sheet, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think Hodinkee is completely irrelevant. They've been made, I think social media, well, their combination of their missteps, which are many, and the rise of social media for obtaining watch news and information basically killed Hodinkee. And by the way, I have to say credit to 1916 Company. I think they played a hand in it as well. Rich Mitch in the chat. It's called gaslighting. I don't know. Would you say that Hodinkee was guilty of gaslighting? I don't know.
I would love to know what happened to. Was that 2020 when they were doing a round of?
Yes, 2020, and they did they got 40 million in funding, and at the time, Hodinkee was valued at $100 million, according to sources.
Yeah, so I'd like to know how much of that got paid back, if any. I mean,
Nothing. No, those guys lost all their money.
It was that the impetus for Tom Brady to sell his watches after his divorce was finalized.
I may be going to that auction, but they were setting up that auction yesterday at Sotheby's. All those pieces. He's selling. We may go through that a little bit later. He's selling 40 items, 22 of which are timepieces.
Okay.
But Rich Mitch says the article is just reporting the facts. That there was a financial statement that was released by Watches of Switzerland, and they did say in that financial statement that Hodinkee had no material impact on their results, and that at the time, if you look through the numbers, Hodinkee's net assets were negative. So it's news. I think it's news, and we're covering it here as news. JB's in the chat. What's up, JB? So yeah, that's the news. If you are in the United States and you want to play a role in naming the winner of U.S.-based pre-owned watch dealer of the year, now's your chance. Any size super chat. Which, by the way, Rich Mitch, you did super chat. So if you want to name either a replacement nominee instead of one of the nominees here, or if you want to move one of the nominees up to an honorable mention slot, feel free. But you can either name a nominee, replace a nominee, or pick one of the current nominees to move up into the honorable mention. So it's a fair thing to do. You did super chat.
Yeah.
This, like all elections, money talks. Those with the power and the money and the influence get to name. Rich Mitch says BQ Watches. Okay, well, BQ Watches isn't a U.S. based dealer, but you know what? You did super chat, so there you go. Pre-owned dealer of the year.
What is your favorite source for your pre-owned watches?
there you go. If you want to, that's
I'm laughing at Rich Mitch's last comment.
Yeah. There you go. Those are your nominees, guys. Now let's move those people up. Move those people up into slots if you want.
Let's see. I'm trying to. I'm looking at those, and there's one. Well, now that we've added BQ watches, there is only 3 on there that I have not done any commerce with.
Man, that shows that you've bought and sold a lot of watches.
I'm a whore. Wherever I can go for the best buck.
Too many watches. Hey, we got Double D in the chat. Double D. I don't see Timepiece Gentleman on there. Yeah, we covered this earlier. Timepiece Gentleman didn't do business in 2024. So
wait. He did not sell. He didn't transact in watches in 2024. He was doing some business, but not watches.
He's been incarcerated the entire year. He's been incarcerated since like November of last year.
Yeah, but we all know he was doing some business inside.
Oh, come on.
He's a mover and a shaker. Yeah. He was doing his art, man. I'm sure somebody bought it,
Yeah, it wasn't through the Timepiece Gentleman website, though. No. I don't believe. Thank you, Rich Mitch, for your super chat, and thank you, Double D, for your comment. It is a good point, but we reviewed that carefully. He was not conducting any legitimate pre-owned watch business.
Yeah, there you go.
24. Right. There it is. But I have my own personal viewpoints on which dealers I would put in the slots here. But I want it to be an audience voted, a fan voted award. You guys are the watch community, so you guys should really make the determination. So if you join the panel, you can name a nominee, or you can move somebody up into a slot. Double D, I commissioned the Timepiece Gentleman to do 3 full nudes of me.
I bought one of them.
Yeah, and those were by the way on 48 by 36 inch canvases, so they had to be huge. I'm not going to say why, but
I can.
But Joseph, yeah, this is a family show. Takuya, Joseph D says Takuya. Yeah, well, you can add them to the list, but you have to take. If you add them to the list, then you have to take somebody else off. So that's the way the rules work around here, Joseph. Welcome to the program. 36 people watching. What are you guys doing in the middle of the day? Guys, let's get to 25 likes. You think that's possible? If you just joined the live stream, tap the thumbs up button. Let's get to 25 likes.
I just hit the upvote button.
Thank you. Yep, you were upvote number 21. Thank you. For those of you just joining, this is the original OC channel. Make sure you subscribe. By the way, we lost 2 memberships. So actually, I'm under 50 memberships, which means I can't add any new emojis. Sorry about that. At one point, like when there were more memberships than that, but I don't want anybody to become a member who's not a viewer. So please do not gift memberships. And I'm being serious. Do not gift memberships, because the memberships go to people who are subscribed, but they're not loyal viewers. So it ends up wasting the memberships. But I will say this: if you're watching and you do appreciate the show and you're not a member, please consider becoming a member, because we fell below 50 memberships, so I can't add any new emojis. And I wanted to actually add the Kith emoji in honor of Buckley. That Kith logo would kind of represent Hypebeast in the chat. but I can't do it. So let me know. Aw, Brian, thank you.
I figured I know you're on the verge of homelessness, so I wanted to help out.
Thank you. Watch It's Brian, who is now a campaign volunteer, which I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we are in the middle of a nasty and vicious political campaign to dominate Watch YouTube, and I need every single person to help. You can help us win. We need your help in this campaign. We need your help to be victorious. So thank you, Brian, for not only volunteering your time to be on the panel, but becoming a campaign volunteer.
And remember, volunteers are unpaid, so you get what you pay for out of them.
Completely unpaid. And it's an unpaid panelist, unpaid intern position. JB says, whoa, how does OC know the size of the canvases? Yeah, listen. They're huge. They're 48 by 36. Double P's.
They're huge. They're bigly.
There's a link dropped to for the memberships, guys. I need one more to get to 50 and unlock one more emoji. I think the mistake that I made was I didn't realize that I was under 50 memberships, and then I took away a couple of emojis, and it wouldn't let me add them back because I was going to replace a couple. So now I'm actually down from the number of emojis that I had before. But no big deal, guys. We have new custom emojis. If you're a member, smash those member only emojis in the chat. Let's see what you. Let's see those emojis flying.
If I send you a photograph on your WhatsApp, can you pull it up on the little screeny thing?
Yep, I sure can.
I will WhatsApp you a photograph here shortly. It might dox my location, but
no, I'll make sure it doesn't.
No, you'd have to do some real geofencing to figure it out. What's your name? There you are.
Just Dr. Bob's NM on WhatsApp.
No, I can't remember which one I wanted to send you. Damn it. It's probably that one. Yep, that's it. There it is. You got it.
I got it. Let's see what we got here.
So this was taken this morning from my driveway.
Oh, okay.
And you'll have to, are you able to zoom that photograph in?
Yeah, I can zoom it.
Okay. Once you share it.
Yep, I know.
Now you unshared.
Yep. Good.
So if you look up between the palm tree and the other tree, you'll see a trail going up, and right up at the top, now scroll down. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down a little bit more.
Down.
No, the other way.
Okay, there.
Up, 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 up.
Oh.
That is the rocket launch this morning, and that's the flames from the booster rocket. And that was taken with my iPhone 13 at 3 times zoom from our front yard.
Hold on, I'm triangulating your latitude and longitude based on this imagery.
Yeah.
Takes a couple seconds for the software to work. All right, got it. Got it. Yep. Oh, cool house.
Yeah. It'll look even better once we get the bathroom remodeled, which is going on right now.
Hello to... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not really buying watches for a few months, maybe, because we're tearing the whole house apart.
That's what rich people do. They buy houses and they tear them down to the studs and rebuild them from scratch.
Yep.
Hello to Christian Fresh, who's in the chat. I like to say hi to every single person who types in a comment in the chat. So if you're watching right now, you haven't typed in a comment, type in a comment in the chat, and I will personally greet you. And it'll make your day go so much more smoothly.
Let me log into my troll account so you can say hi to that.
Yeah. We've got Rene Delapon, my favorite DJ in Europe. Rene has been a huge supporter of mine. I really appreciate it. Been watching for 3 years. Can you believe that? Rene Delapon's been watching me for 3 years on YouTube. Renee is upvote number 24. Thank you, Renee. Guys, if you just joined, please hit the thumbs up, hit that like button. Let's get to 25 likes. And we need more people to vote for pre-owned dealer of the year. Or you can jump on the panel. If you jump on the panel, you get an extra perk. You get to move one of the nominees up to the honorable mention slot. Scratchy is in the chat. Hey, OC, Brian, and everyone in the chat. What's up, Scratchy? Good to have you with us.
Yay. What are you going to do? What happens if you get 2 more people on the panel? Then you're going to have to add another honorable mention.
I could do that.
Oh, okay.
Or I could pick the person that I like more, and their choice gets to be bronze.
You are related to Chuck Schumer, so you're used to just making things up as you go.
That's right. The rules are ad hoc. The best the best 3 years of my life. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, can you believe I've been on YouTube for 3 years this month? It's crazy. And I'm still here. I've been almost destroyed 4 times, but I'm still here.
My first appearance on a live stream was December 31st of 2021.
Great. That was like 2 weeks after my first appearance. Yeah. And we became panelists on Tim's show right around the same time.
And then you quickly chased off Higgins, and then you started.
I didn't. He was in the process of leaving when I came on board.
Well, and then you became bed buddies for a while.
It's
very confusing who loves who at the moment.
No, I'm still Higgins, by the way, is back. He's coming back to YouTube. So I don't want to take his thunder, but he's coming back to YouTube. And listen, he and I have always chatted behind the scenes. He never did anything to me, but
I enjoy everybody except for Cam.
Who's that?
Cam.
Don't know that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Higgins. I met Higgins in person in London.
Yep.
Along with a whole bunch of cool people. So this topic doesn't seem to be. I think the one thing about being in the collector / enthusiast community is like we don't have a negative view of pre-owned dealers. We don't have a negative view of the gray market, but we we use them for their intended purpose. Like we don't trust them per se, but we do take advantage of the opportunity to use them to either get the pieces that we want that are hard to get, or to consolidate our collection, or to offload pieces that we have. So it's not a trust. It's not a trust thing. So that's why there's not a lot of enthusiasm about the topics. Like we don't want to reward these dealers, for like being the best of the year, because I think a lot of these guys are some of these guys are very trustworthy, right?
And I think some of them appeal more to other people depending on their inventory at the time, and some appeal to others based off of their specialities. And
that's right. Like for example, like Wind Vintage isn't nominated. But I could see somebody nominating Wind Vintage or collectability, for example.
Screw Wind Vintage.
Screw. According to you.
There's still only one on this list that I will not do business with.
and nobody has been able to guess it in the chat correctly.
And nobody's cared either, which is even better.
Which is fine because we don't have to even address it. JB says, I love OC and Higgy. Thank you.
Yeah.
We make a good comment. We'll be doing, we might be doing some live streams together soon. It's tough because I have a lot of collaborations. Sometimes I'll go on to Lord's channel, Young Brando, and we'll do some watch talk there. Sometimes I'll be on the Franchise Club doing some color commentary with Curly, and sometimes I'm on the Elite Horology channel doing watch talk with Higgins, or here,
Elite,
or the Colony. So, but shout out to Jonathan. Hope he's doing well.
I need to get up early one time and get on the Escapement show with the internet legend that is Thomas Burnett.
Yes, is that early in the morning U.S. time?
Yeah, it's like 6 a.m. or something stupid. It's not going to happen. I mean, unless I'm passing a kidney stone or something, I have no idea why I would be up that early.
Yeah, and Logan reminds me that I'm always in the chat at Logan Hall's grill streams. I'm not on the panel though. Yeah, but when I want to hear the ASMR talk or the sounds of herb chopping, let's say I have 2 hours to kill, and I want to rest and relax. I'll start the stream right where the chopping segment begins, and I know I've got at least 90 minutes of soothing cilantro dicing coming my way.
The fresh smell of cilantro.
By the way, Toby, Tobister McDonkey in the chat says, I'm itching for another watch. I have enough Rolex. I'm thinking Panerai Submersible Carbotech 44. That is the PAM 1232. Let me pull that up. This is a watch channel, by the way. We pretend it is anyways.
And we love Tudor watches here.
Let's get this boom box off. So we have this is the Panerai Submersible 44 Carbotech. And it retails for $18,600. This or the Citizen 0100 Titanium, the most accurate watch ever made. Let's close this. Boom. Let's find that Citizen. These are two very different watches.
I bought a Citizen Eco Drive recently.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Disney special edition.
Oh, yeah. So here is the Citizen Caliber 0100. It is a solar powered? Solar powered watch. Very accurate. Accuracy to within plus or minus 1 second.
Annual accuracy of 1 second.
Guys, do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, how much does this Citizen cost? Nowhere near $18,000, I'm assuming, right?
God, I would hope not.
Yep. We've got some friendly advice from John D. Friends, don't let friends buy Panerai.
At least at retail.
Yeah, and So I'm just going to call you Toby. If that's okay. You mind if I shorten your name to Toby? Do people call you that? Yeah. You could just rebrand to Toby in the chat if you want to. Toby says Carbotech finally came down in price. Retail 18,000, but could be found for 10 or 11. That sounds a lot better. But even at 10 or 11, this is it's an expensive watch. Carbon. It's carbon. Lordaflex in the chat. What's up, Lordaflex? Good to have you on the stream. When it comes to Panerai, which I like to pronounce Panerai like that, like when I say Panama. You ever pronounce Panama like that?
Not on purpose.
Well, when it comes to Panerai, you either love them or hate them. There's no middle ground. I'm in the hate category. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate any watches, but if you have to do I like them or not like them? I don't like them. How do you guys feel?
I personally don't care.
Don't care. Yeah, they don't bother. They're not on my radar enough to care. This is a nice looking watch though. And Whole Milk agrees. Says between the two of them, I prefer the Citizen.
How much is this Citizen Calibri 0100?
Well, Toby says that the titanium one is going for around $6,000. The white gold one is impossible to find. Never seen one for sale. Knew it was $16,000. Wow. And
OC, does it bother you that it's a caliber 0100 and not just 100? You don't mind the extra zero on the front?
No, as a matter of fact, I applaud the extra zero.
So you'd probably really want to buy it if it was a caliber 00100.
I don't know much about Citizen caliber nomenclature, but I'm assuming there's a reason why they named it 0100. It might have to do with the accuracy of the watch. Like it's like 1 second for 00 and 00 implies the year, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? And who cares? But I do want something about which I do care is saying hello to Mr. Fahrenheit in the chat. And I want to say hello to BW from Jacksonville, Florida in the chat. What's up, BW? Guys, there's 40 people now watching, which is absolutely insane. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to e-beg for super chats because we already have plenty of super chats. I mean, plenty of likes. But we do need help with a few super chats to move people up on this list. We are talking about the best pre-owned dealers for 2024. We're going through the awards for 2024 US-based pre-owned dealer of the year. We have your nominees here. We already have an honorable mention with the European Watch Company. If you'd like to move any of the nominees from up to honorable mention, it's any size super chat. Any size super chat. If you want to replace one of the nominees, you can. Any size super chat or super sticker. So.
And if you're a Disney fan and employee and stockholder like I am, if you super chat the OC channel, odds are that money is going to end up somehow back to the Walt Disney Company. So.
There's a very, very good chance of that.
Yeah, odds are for sure. 6,000 is a lot of money for that Citizen, though. I will say. I mean, for 6,000, you could get. I don't know. I don't think there's any good watches under for 6,000, you can get an Omega. He's looking for good watches.
Oh, good ones.
He could get a Tudor.
Hello to MD Chaz, who's also in the chat. He says Delray Watch. Hey, you can nominate if you want Delray Watch to replace one of the nominees. It's any size super chat. So shout out to Federico.
And I've done business with Delray Watch.
Welcome to Federico Talks Watches. Check out the latest listings at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below.
And every time he ends his videos, I feel like he's yelling, "Take care." Like, okay.
Take care.
I have to. Federico yelled at me. I have to take care. Damn.
We need Federico. Where is Federico? Federico. Hold on a second. Let me just drop the link because I know he watches. He hasn't been doing any spicy commentary for a long time. Link for. Guys,
He's been doing a little bit more targeted spruiking of his inventory commentary, which I kind of like.
But he needs to really talk more about what's going on in the watch market and with the state of the industry and stuff like that. So, guys, do not click on this link. That's a special link for Federico Iosa, doxed. Federico of Federico Talks Watches, owner.
Did you hear that, Ed Sheeran? We're talking to you. Don't click on that link.
Yeah, Ed, don't click on it. Ed's not going to jump on anyway. He's too busy. But if Federico wants to jump on, CEO and co-founder of Delray Watch, link in the description below. Federico can jump on. So MD Chaz, good idea. If you want to nominate Delray Watch, it's a super chat. By the way, we have a goal. We need to get 3 more super chats in the next 6 minutes. Guys, you guys have been dilly-dallying. The goal ends in 6 minutes, guys. We need 3 super chats of any size, not super stickers. 3 super chats of any size in the next 6 minutes. Please don't embarrass yourselves by not being able to hit such a meager small goal. And by the way, when you do super chat, you will be able to either replace a nominee or move one of the nominees up into the prize level categories, either honorable mention or the silver, gold, silver, or bronze trophies. So please super chat. Whoever is watching right now, think about it. Get Trap Vision 3D, who says, Brian, you do a great impression. Who do you do? Do you do impressions? Which impressions can you highlight for the audience right now?
I'm doing an impression of somebody who's paying attention right now.
Well, that's not a very good impression, I gotta say.
I don't do impressions. I do characters and sarcasm and wit.
How about this? Johnny is in the chat. Customary wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Breguet Mariner. Absolutely love it. Fantastic watch. I've been wearing this watch all week. And I actually have a new Breguet Mariner in stock. Check it out at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below.
I thought I was watching his channel right there. Damn.
Scratchy. Even though they're not US based, you know what? Money talks. Bullshit walks. BQ watches. Boom. There you go. Thank you very much. Guys, we have 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left to hit the goal. We need 2 more super chats. Okay? 2 more super chats. Please, anybody watching, any size super chat. But this is a $3 Australian. Thank you, Scratchy. Much appreciated. By the way, how much is $3 Australian? Like 77 cents? Let's see. I
think after YouTube and everybody takes their pieces, I think it's about 12 cents.
Yeah. It's $3 Australian dollars is $1.93. So technically they should be below European Watch Company, but so is that okay? I'm gonna have to I'll move them. Just to be fair. So boom, that goes there. BQ watches goes there. Just to be fair, got to respect the because Brian's on the panel, and Brian also became a member, which is and he became a member at the campaign volunteer level, which is a $100 per month level.
Yeah,
Thank you,
right.
Brian. Guys, we need 2 more super chats. Who's watching? Who's watching that who will part with a whole $1.99? Come on, guys, don't be cheap. I'm gonna browbeat you into. I'm gonna browbeat you into.
Wait, OC, let me do my Jerry Falwell. If I don't get that money, if you don't send the money right now, Jesus is gonna call me home, and then I'm gonna be home, but I ain't gonna be here with you. Now you got to send that money right now so I can keep spreading the love down here on the planet Earth, or I'm gonna get called back to heaven. Amen.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's working. I think it's working.
Ha!
All right, it's working. It's working. The people are feeling it. They're feeling the power. Raise your hands to the praying praise of the Lord. John T. $2 super chat. Collectors 1946 is my preferred dealer. Well, you know what? In that case, collectors 1946 goes here. These are all kind of tied. Actually, collectors and European watch are tied. So let me just quickly. I'll keep it this way.
That's going to change. I see the future, and it's going to change.
It's going to change. Johnny, $5 super chat. Elevate European watch company to gold. You know what? I can't argue with that. European watch company, boom, goes to gold. Collectors goes down to honorable mention. In order to move European watch company down and replace them, your super chat has to be higher than $5. So that was a very slick move on Johnny O's part, because basically he is all but ensured that European watch company will be named 2024 pre-owned dealer of the year. Pretty slick move, Johnny O. If money is your problem, send your problems to me. Mm-hmm. Praise the Lord. Thank you so much for your very generous contribution to the hate streams.
Remember, Jesus saves. All others pay full price.
There we go. And by the way, we did hit our goal. Thank you very, very much. I want to thank Brody. I want to thank Rich Mitch. I want to thank Scratchy. I want to thank John D. And I want to thank Johnny O, the 5 people who contributed to hitting our goal for the show. Give yourselves a massive pat on the back. You deserve it. You are all show sponsors. Your show guys, we have a show sponsor. Sorry, I apologize. Johnny O, show sponsor.
I used to live on a golf course.
Martin Johansson is in the chat. Are you taking over Europe, OC? What does that mean? Am I taking over Europe? No, I'm going to remain here in the United States for now. But listen.
Speaking of that, I have to send Mrs. OC a message and say, sorry, he got the super chats. He is not being called to heaven.
Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Oh, look at this. John D. Nashville watch deserves the bronze. Okay. There you go. Nashville watch. Tell us a little bit. Do you remember any specific deals that you've done with Nashville watch, Brian?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Lots of deals. Lots of people in the community do deals with Nashville Watch. Shout out to Chase. By the way, if someone's watching this and knows Chase personally, send Chase a note, send Chase a text message right now to let him know that he is, at this point, the winner, the bronze award winner for pre-owned dealer of the year.
Do you really want me to text him?
Yeah, text him right. Guys, if you know Chase in the chat, just say, hey, by the way, on this live stream right now, they're reviewing best pre-owned dealers, and you've been named bronze award winner. Well, but technically someone could boot him. If we get more super chats that are higher than $5, it's possible, but it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. So yeah, text him a quick text. Say, hey, if he wants to jump on the stream, he can type in a comment in the chat and we'll drop a special link for Chase of Nashville Watch. And we'll do a special plug. We'll actually go through, we'll let him highlight 3 pieces of his inventory.
Chase is where I got that FP Jordan from. I don't have it anymore.
Does he still have it?
No, I sold that to European Watch.
Oh, that's right.
And they don't have it anymore.
Look at this.
Uh-oh.
First of all,
hold on. We have to go to the judges. This might be insider influence.
Hey, this is listen, election fraud and interference is perfectly acceptable. As a matter, actually condone it. CQ, the watch guy who who's going back and forth between Orlando and Miami, a proud employee of DavidSW. DavidSW is putting his thumbs on the scale. He's rigging the election process by moving a European watch company down to silver and moving DavidSW up to the top spot.
Maybe I better text Chase and the guys at European Watch and say, get on here and donate more or super chat more.
This is I don't know. I mean, Nashville is still a bronze, so they're not bumped out of the running. But I can't. Where are the executives from 1916 Company? Where are the fucking head honchos from Bucherer? Are they going to let?
They're in a castle in Switzerland. It's a very dark black castle up on.
How are they going to let this happen? It's like letting one of your prize pieces, get sold out from under you at auction. A bit of collusion never hurt anyone. It's right. Listen, elections are won and lost based on money and donations, and this election is no different. So huge shout out to CQ for influencing the election in his favor. I actually have to respect it. I think he's doing the right thing. DavidSW right now is in the lead with gold. He may get the gold award for US-based pre-owned dealer of the year. Hey, who's going to argue with that?
And right? That award is suitable for framing.
Tell you what, if DavidSW does win, I will. First of all, I'll drop the link in the chat.
You know what I just realized? I had Chase and CQ right next to each other, and I inadvertently hit CQ's name instead. Oh well.
Did you really? Oh
no, I'm not. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here.
Guys, I just dropped the link. This is for CQ only. Nobody click on this link. This is a special link, so CQ can bypass the green room, come directly into the show. But listen, he's already in the lead. He doesn't need this. He doesn't need to do any campaigning. When you're in the lead, kind of stay quiet, lay low, right? Lay low. CQ Whole Milk says CQ is our best new panelist. You know what? I've gotten a lot of incredible reaction about CQ being a panelist. They actually really, really like him on the panel. Yeah.
You know what it is? He's got that little Caribbean accent that's so easy to listen to and softens you up. And then and then he knows all that shit too. It's just like a magic, mixed magic.
The funny thing is also that 1916 Company did a live stream yesterday. You know what they started talking about in the middle of their live stream?
No. CQ?
kicking AP out of the Holy Trinity.
They're stealing.
Which was a topic that we were covering on our live stream just a day or two before. So they are watching. We know that all these guys watch. It's cool. Listen, to be honest, all the best topics for live streams are coming from us. So if copying and thievery is the most sincere form of flattery as far as I'm concerned. So keep it up. PG is in the chat. PG is a guy who's bought and sold from nearly every secondary dealer imaginable because he's got the most incredible collection.
But every time I feel bad about myself, I think about PG and I feel better.
Crown and caliber is best. Why is this even being debated? Huge shout out to PG. And by the way, I love PG's new Gerald Charles. He has 2 beautiful Gerald Charles watches. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of the Gerald Charles brand. So shout out to PG. Guys, I want to, by the way, if Buckley or anybody else like Buckley, Diego, Kimbo, I know it's in the middle of the workday for you guys and it's difficult to jump on. If anybody wants to jump on the panel, actually, you can use the link that I dropped for CQ, and you guys can bypass it and bypass the green room, come directly on the panel.
You associate with collectors that work?
Well, like PG, like he works.
He has his own business. That's his own business. That's not working. He can jump on if he wants to right now. It's not April 15th. What does he care?
Yeah, I would like, by the way, we haven't yet revealed which of these nominated dealers you would never work with. There's one that you said you would never work with and why, and we will be covering that in exactly 5 minutes. I got Ryan James in the chat. What's up, Ryan? I like to say hi to every single person who types in a comment in the chat. So I want to say hi to Ryan James. I also want to say hi to Grandmaster Chime. Hello, Grandmaster Chime. So yeah, I mean, we were talking about kicking AP out of the Holy Trinity and replacing them. And they started talking about it on 1916 Company's live stream, which proves that they watch. We know they watch, and that's cool. They're welcome to jump on anytime. As a matter of fact, I want to, hey, look at this. We got Kesslowitz in the chat. What's up, Kessel?
See, he owns Patek. He doesn't work during the day.
Nope. Listen, Patek owners look down on people who work. You know, I mean, they value work, but we hire everybody to do work for us, which is
speaking of that, I'll be back in 3 minutes or 4 minutes for my 5 minute thing.
Yep. Yeah, he'll be back in 4 minutes for his 5 minute reveal. John D asks, why is Chrono 24 not on the list? Some of these other dealers sold on consignment, which is not their own inventory. So why not Chrono 20? Chrono 24 is more of a marketplace. So they are being excluded from the nomination process. One person who's not excluded is DavidSW. And here, shamelessly hawking DavidSW is none other than CQ. What's up, CQ?
What's happening? Good afternoon.
How's your day going?
It's going pretty good, man. It's a good Thursday. You know, got some watches going out. You know, it's still a little chilly here in Orlando, so I'm happy. And I saw that we had, you know, a little vote going on. So I read the rules and I made sure my contribution was within the limits. Yeah, I figured, you know, some representation was definitely needed.
Well, I mean, there's no rules that says that people who work at the dealer can't fairly and legitimately influence the election process. So
it's a great list, by the way. Great company. This is all everybody here. Great companies.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I wouldn't say all of them. I mean, you can say all of them. But
you know, from a quick glance, you know.
If you could,
I've never seen Collectors 1946. I gotta research them.
Collectors 1946 is based on Long Island, New York.
Okay.
So they're known for people, you know, by people in New York City primarily. I think they also have another location. If anybody's worked with Collectors 1946, can you just either jump into the chat and let us know, or hop on the panel. The link to join the panel is pinned at the top of the chat. So, see, Collectors 46. They're also known for giving pretty good prices too.
Okay. All right.
Let me ask you this, not to be controversial, but if you could eliminate one of the nominees from the list without explaining why, just let's say I gave you special, because you're on the panel, you get special powers to remove one of these dealers from the list, and they can't be put back on. Who would you, and without revealing the reason why, so it's not, I'm shielding you from any potential blowback, right? Which one would you remove from the list?
Okay. Oh, from the list of the
nominees.
Ranked, of the nominees.
No. Of the nominees.
Oh, wow.
The people who are ranked, the people who are in the top 5, people who have paid money for those people, so they can't be unless there's a super chat that's higher than the dollar amount that was used to get them in. They have to stay there. But are there any, without saying anything negative about any of the nominees, which one would you toss off?
So it's very tough because, I haven't, as a consumer, been on the consumer side with most of these. Many of these companies I know, or I know some people who work there, for some of them, not all, to be honest with you. So it'd be hard for me to take, if I, there's one that I want to take off the list, but I feel like it's just going to be just because they're a younger company. But I don't know. I don't want to say a name, only because that these are all from the surface level good companies, and maybe if we had a different criteria or something like that, we could judge. But I there's none here that I'd say I wouldn't tell my mom, hey mom, don't shop here. Again, I've never shopped with Collectors 1946 and a few others, but on the surface, if my mom was gonna buy a Cartier or Datejust or something, there's nobody here that I'd be like, don't do it, mom. How dare you go to this company? For sure.
I believe CQ just announced that he's running for governor of Florida.
No, it'd be governor of the Virgin Islands. Yeah, give me when I turn 50, I'll start my my political campaign.
Let me see, guys in the chat, who do you think CQ was talking about? Because he mentioned there was a younger company there that he wasn't familiar with, which so it's obviously not 1916. Who he was, old, and he's a member of the family. Bucher is 150 years old. DavidSW's been around forever. He works there. He's not going to say anything bad about European watches. Which one of these companies would be described as a newer dealer that he was secretly wishing would be booted off this list? Guys in the chat, read CQ's mind and let us know.
I'm reading his mind, and there's 2 that pop up. There's 3 that pop up right away to me that are newer companies.
Grand Caliber, which has only been around 3 or 4 years. Right,
Grand Caliber,
fairly new company, fairly new.
Yes. Yeah.
Nashville Watch is fairly young, and Avi & Co is fairly young in comparison to some of these others.
Oh, Avi & Co's been around for. I mean, they're so big and they're so high end in terms of dealing with AP and Richard Mille.
Yeah, they're almost in a different. Because it's more high jewelry and high-end watches with them, even though they do sell a little bit of everything. But it's hard to categorize. But definitely, there's a place where you're seeing a lot of bigger stones and diamond pieces for sure.
Wait, if I go there, I'll have bigger stones?
Perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Depends if your wife is there squeezing you, as the wire leaves your account.
We have a shakeup. We have a shakeup. John D, who's in New York, has a $12 super chat, which is bigger than $10 by 2. If I do know how to do math, out with DavidSW and upward for the 3 listed below.
Fair play, John.
3 listed below that. Well, I think here's the way it works. DavidSW is $10, so that has to hold on a second here. So I'm happy to move that down to the silver.
So CQ, if you don't know, OC's uncle is Chuck Schumer, so he's politicking this out.
Is that what I was just gonna say? This is very I feel like I'm on the Senate floor or something right now, and you're just robbing me blind right now.
Yeah, so that's the way it works. John D is you were able to push DavidSW down 1 slot but I can't move all 3 up because that would be it requires separate super chats to do those things. So I hope you understand. But you've accomplished your goal of booting DavidSW out of the top prize for now.
For now.
For now. But listen, by the way, I also, there's a couple other things I want to talk about. Number one, I did meet David back in 2020, I believe. Maybe it was December of 20. No, it was 2021. I'm pretty sure. It was right before. It was a couple of months before the peak of the market, and I met him at an event in New York, and I said, "Man, these prices." Because this is like after November, December, January, and the crazy spikes. The Daytona had just inched past $50,000 in secondary, the 116,500. And I was talking with David, and I said, David, just between you and me, do these prices bother you or concern you at all? And he said, I got to tell you, they actually do, because at some point, these prices are too high that we actually don't even feel good about selling these watches. And
sure.
And he said these are at a dangerously precarious level. And he even said that this is unsustainable. So there's no way people should be paying $50,000+ for a stainless steel Daytona. And it was just a couple months after that actually Russia invaded Ukraine. All of 47th Street was paralyzed, and that was basically marked. Crypto crashed, the stock market crashed, whatever, in beginning of I can't remember what it was, but
at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022 is when you really saw the peak, and then the sharp decline. And he's right. I agree with that sentiment so much, because there was a time where, I try to advise people when they're buying watches. So I try to put a little bit of logic in there with the passion, try to give you a little bit of strategy. And during that time, the prices are just moving so fast. And when you're seeing a Daytona at 50, then 60,000, I was in the Middle East, so it was very frothy over there. I had to look at people and say, hey, if you want this watch, I think you should buy it. It's your money. Do what you want to do. But I can't give, forget a guarantee. I can't even give you an outlook on what I think a price would be in 5 months for this watch, because we're just.
So you weren't offering a 6-month buy it back and I'll pay you 20% more guarantee?
How could I?
Like some other dealers were?
As a, there's certain dealers who may, have a, able to do that. But I think anybody who did that during that market, who with one caveat of people who deal with very specialized high-end independent watches, a group of Four Seasons, things, because there's one dealer I know who does a good buyback program for those type of watches. But if you're talking like a Rolex Daytona or something, if you gave somebody a 6-month buyback guarantee a peak market and you're still doing business today, kudos to you. Because I can't tell you, I had to turn off my phone when the market started crashing, and everybody, John D is just patting the chat. I'm gonna payday isn't until tomorrow, anyways. But I tell you that shit, John D, you messed up my chain. But anyways, the price is just too crazy, and Patek's, everything, Nautilus just went to a different place. Elegante, I'm telling you, I will never forget the Elegantes spiking from 30 to 60 within 2 weeks, and I'm selling to dealers. I'm selling to dealers at market prices. And that was probably, for us at the time, at the company I was working for, the biggest, bell ringing to wake everybody up, is we were posting pieces on marketplaces like eBay or Chrono24, and dealers were buying, right? Yeah. So a dealer who knows that they can call me and I'll give you a wholesale price, or at least a better price, depending on what it is. If you're just clicking buying it on eBay with your eBay coupons, like your normal customer, and then you're sending me an email like, hey, I just bought it on eBay, but I'm going to send you my reseller search so I can deal with the taxes how I want to deal with them. That's when I knew, like, oh, this is a problem, because you had to start a little bit holding certain inventory from going on marketplaces to give consumers a chance. Like, hey, I'm about to post this Nautilus up. If I put it up, somebody's going to snag it. But do you want a shot at it? So when we start going into that situation, I think especially then, there's no way to go back. But I could tell you, at the company I was working for, we slowed down on buying Nautiluses, and you only saw one Nautilus versus 357.11. You saw one 157.12, and we really started because it was just a little too like it didn't make sense. You know, when all of us are looking around the room and everybody's making money, and the price is still going up. And nobody is saying, well, you know, nobody even has like a crazy conspiracy as to why. Everybody's just like, I don't know, we're on a rocket ship and it has to crash at some point, you know, and that's what was going on. It was insane. It was like nothing I've ever experienced. It was too crazy.
And for me as a consumer, I was paralyzed at that point because I didn't want to get caught. I wasn't going to buy out of the range and then be caught on the wrong side.
You know, I'll never forget. I was in Dubai and somebody was coming to buy a 57/1R. I forgot the price. Maybe we were asking close to 300, and like the prices were starting to come down. And like I was fighting with the management to get a deal done for him, and he wanted like 10 grand less. Like let's say we had it at 300, I got it to 280. He's like, hey, just 270. I don't even feel good about it, but I'll do it because we've been fighting all day. This guy comes in with his baby in a stroller. And he's just an ultimate negger. He always comes in and just negs all my deals. So he's, you know, he's a watch guy. We talk, whatever. And he comes in and he's like, oh, you're going to buy this? How much is he going to sell for it? Totally destroys my sale with his cute little baby. And he's like, bro, these are fallen knives. But it was the one time where I was like, listen to him. Don't listen to me. I would love to make this sale, but I agree with this guy who's killing my sale right now. And it was one of the very few instances where I was like I probably could have closed that sale, but my conscience was just like, just listen to the guy, just go, just leave the store right now, and I'll, you know. And it was the right thing to do. But I really, it could have went up. It could have went up another 30%, and the guy walked in and say like, man, you made me lose money. But nobody, who could have known, you know?
Yeah. Insane. John D, $15 super chat. Collectors 1946 for the silver. So we've moved. Yeah, we moved Collectors 1946 up. DavidSW still has the bronze prize. Highest prices for buying watches from individuals by a long shot, by personal experience. DavidSW is out. Well, they're not out. They're still in bronze, but they're out of the silver spot. I mean, Collectors 1946 here in the Northeast does have a good reputation for very, very good buy prices from people, from private collectors. So, and of course, this is a channel for collectors and enthusiasts, so that's what they appreciate, is a dealer who's willing to offer great cash prices or great consolidation or great trade prices. That's something that is very much appreciated. And we got Misho from Europe in the chat, €2. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the super chat, Misho. Good to see you in the chat. Looking forward to seeing you at Watches and Wonders in Geneva. And we got Watch Hangout in the chat. What's up, Watch Hangout? That's JJ and the crew from the Watch Hangout. And we've got Dodger in the chat, Billy Jeans, everybody kind of filing in. I also want to mention that, C'Q, you do kind of like an annual meetup, like a private kind of group of friends / collectors / just good people that come together, and you do a private event every year in a different location, or is it always in Los Angeles?
So it's a rotating location. Last year we did it in at DavidSW in Miami. That was awesome. Before that, it was Watchbox New York. Before that, it was Tiny Jewel Box in DC. I think before that, it was Watchbox in Philadelphia. So this year, really excited. We're doing it out in LA. It's for my watch collectors group called CP Time. Basically, a watch collector group, a little bit focused on Black culture, just to give people, you know, a place where you could come, you can gather, you can ask a lot of questions. If you enjoy, you know, Black culture, hip hop music, it's great for you. Very inclusive. You want everybody, but it's always a good time. This is our 4th year. Insane. And this year we're going to be in LA. Elise Narden is doing something with us. That's the most I can say. But if you're in LA, please reach out to me, or you could go to officialcptime.com and RSVP for the event. We still have a few different slots open, and it's going to be next Saturday.
Got it.
I'm going to have to run out real quick, guys. I forgot I got a meeting, but I'm going to hop back on, okay?
Yeah, come back on later.
All right.
Thanks, C'Q. I just want to, for those of you,
and all the viewers will leave now.
I Yeah, they'll stick around because
They're stuck.
he's coming
Too
back.
much. It's too much work to hit the stop button.
It's officialcptime.com. What I'm going to do is drop the link in the chat. If you're, it's a watch enthusiast group centered around Black culture, and they're doing their annual event on December 14th in Los Angeles. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It is officialcptime.com.
Yeah, I'm working that day. Damn.
Rich people don't work.
I work part-time.
So, and we also get John D says, love to see CQ back on the stream once again. Good to get his views. But DavidSW margins are not the best. Hey, a lot of people trust DavidSW. He has a stellar reputation over the years. You don't hear anybody question a return or an issue with a watch. It's his reputation is pretty much unblemished.
I forgot to ask CQ for his personal 10% discount code. Darn it.
I think the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale is over. It's at DavidSW. You had your chance, Brian. You had your chance. I want to thank John D for all his great comments in the chat. Oh no. What did he do? What did he do now? What did he do now? John D, $12 super chat, bought my Rolex Explorer from Nashville Watch, and it was a super experience with more communication than nearly any other I've experienced. Out for DavidSW, upward for Nashville Watch to the bronze. You know what? I can't argue with that. That is more than a $10 super chat. So I have to move Nashville Watch, up to the bronze here and move DavidSW to an honorable mention. Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. God, maybe if David, I'm sure CQ's on his conference call right now going, damn it, he's logging into YouTube. Or maybe he's waiting. He's going to wait till we're about to close out the results, and then he'll sneak in a big super chat at the last minute.
He's going to snipe chat.
Yeah, that's what it's called when you come in at the last second, and just snipe it.
Maybe you should tell him right now we're going to end this in 5 minutes.
We could end the live stream. Could end at any time. I don't know.
How's your internet lately?
John D, thank you for the super chat and your generous contribution to the hate streams. $12. We have moved Nashville Watch up, and that bumps DavidSW out of the awards. Yeah, they no longer have access to the bronze award. They are still a honorable mention.
Shame.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link to join the panel in the chat. If anybody wants to join the panel, jump on. If you're not doing anything, we're having fun. We're talking watches here. We're talking watches, and we're talking the best gray market dealers or the best pre-owned watch dealers of the year. And these are your votes. I didn't pick these people. You guys picked these people. If you have a problem with it, look at your peers and look at your friends, because they're the ones who've done this. If you know anybody at Nashville, if you know Chase at Nashville Watch, or if you know anybody at Collectors, let them know that this live stream is live right now. If they want to bump themselves up, you know what you have to do. I think European Watch, in order to bump them, the super chat has to be more than $15, guys. So you know the rules. More than $15 to bump European Watch, and higher than $12 to bump Collectors or Nashville Watch. So don't send a super chat and say, oh, well, I didn't know that it had to be higher than whatever. You guys know the rules. So if someone from Collectors or Nashville Watch wants to claim the top spot, or if someone from DavidSW or 1916 Company wants to claim the top spot, they know what they have to do. It's an election. So like all elections, it's rigged by the rich and powerful.
Paging Bob's watches. Bob's watches to the 21st century, please. Bob's watches.
Yeah. Scratchy is in the chat, and Scratchy says, can Theo and Harris be a top line nominee? You know what? That sounds fair. Let me give you an additional bonus, Scratchy. Who would you like to? Is there someone you want to bump from the nominees? Is there? Let me know in the chat if there's any of these. Like, do you want to bump any of these? Like, actually, let's do this. I have room here, so so let me just, because there's actually plenty of room. So let's do this. DavidSW is already on the panel, up there. European Watch is already up there. Nashville Watch is already up there. BQ, it's already up there. Collectors, boom. All these guys are already up there. So yeah, Theo and Harris. We actually have a lot of empty slots here. So if you want someone to fill these slots, not a problem. Scratchy, thank you. Can Theo and Harris become a top line nominee? Yes, they can. There you go. Actually, I can move them to the top here. Boom. That's what you asked for. That is what you shall get. Hope you're Scratchy. If you're unsatisfied with that for any reason, please let me know. We aim to please. We aim to support our donors. By the way, there's 35 people watching, 35 upvotes, which is phenomenal. I like that ratio. By the way, quick reminder, if you're watching on a mobile device, you can like super chats. So if there are super chats that you like, please like them, like the individual super chats. Some super chats, you can actually reply to the super chats in the chat just by clicking on reply. I also want to remind people that if you are a member, if you click on the $ or whatever the currency symbol is next to the chat window, you may have a free member milestone chat there. Please use it because they expire every 30 days. And so if you have one there, please use it before it gets lost.
Yes, kids, OC is reminding you to use your member.
Use your member before you lose your member. Whole Milk says, I let Mike and Josh, whoever those are, Mike and Josh, is that Mike and Josh know we are voting on pre-owned dealer of the year.
That would be Alpha Crown.
Okay. I don't think they're in business anymore.
Yeah, they are. I was on their website this morning.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure.
I got a text from them earlier this week or last week wanting to know if I wanted to buy a watch.
And what did you say?
I didn't reply. I could have shown them the picture of our bathroom and said, "Nah, I don't think so."
Yep. But yeah, if someone wants to nominate Mike and Josh to the list, feel free. It's the smallest level super chat will allow you to do that. Whole Milk asks, Brian, do you still do business with those bozos? I don't know. What do you mean? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? I don't know who you. Your question isn't clear, Whole Milk. I have no idea to whom you're referring. So because the question is unclear, Brian doesn't have to answer. Guys, I think we're pretty good. By the way, I want to ask you, Brian, what do you think? What do you make of the fact that the 1916 company guys were talking about bumping AP from the Holy Trinity and talking about their embarrassing collaborations? Do you think that they did it because they saw, because we did it, that we were kind of giving them good air cover to bring up those topics on a live stream?
Yeah, I think they're kicking up their output of social media stuff again, and they're trying to do more long form stuff, and so they're looking for topics, and I'm sure they're scouring the smaller feistier channels and going, yeah, we could do this, but we could do this without saying, without being so harsh. We can take it from a more smarter business standpoint.
Yeah, a little bit more corporate and see how it plays with people. But attacking AP seems to be something that they don't have a particular problem with, because it doesn't really hurt their business model either to do that.
They don't care. They don't care. They're not buying direct from them on anything, and and at the end of the day, it's good for AP because AP's in a discussion in front of all these people.
Massive thank you to Speedy Hernandez, member for 2 months. He's a campaign volunteer. Thank you, Speedy Hernandez. The campaign volunteer, that's the $100 per month level. Thank you, Speedy. What's up, OC and Brian? Of my least favorite people on the internet, you are two of my favorites. Just kidding. Love you, knuckleheads. Thank you, Speedy. Speedy is one of the best. Speedy's been giving me fluff in the chat. He's been one of my fluffers for 3 years now on the internet. Started watching me way back in the day on Tim.
I remember when he was Speedy Horrendous.
I know. I might have even named him that.
Yeah.
Speedy Hernandez. I think Speedy lives in Hawaii, I think, right? Speedy, you're in Hawaii? I wish I were in Hawaii right now. It's freezing cold here in the Northeast. It's like 30 degrees. Well, thank you for your member chat. If you are a member, if you have a star next to your name, and you don't remember the last time you did a member milestone chat, click on the $sign or whatever the currency symbol is next to the chat where you type in a comment. You may have a free member milestone chat there. Please click on it. And by the way, we need one more member so I can add one more new emoji. So if you're watching and you don't have a star next to your name, please consider, if it's any way possible, please consider becoming a member. The way you do that is by clicking on this link that I'm about to drop in the chat. Boom. Then we also have Luchabetic Mark. I would join the panel, but then it would go from horrendous to deplorable. Listen, you're busy, Mark. You're busy. You're busy. Got to sell those. Chrysler Jeep Dodges or Dodger.
Don't forget about AMC and Javelin.
AMC and the AMC Pacer.
Yeah.
And the Gremlin too. The Gremlin sales are through the roof. Look at this, Luchabetic Mark. Thank you, man. They just became our 50th member at the $100 per month level. Campaign volunteer, guys. Thank you, Luchabetic Mark. Really appreciate it. Now I can pick that new emoji. I was going to pick the Kith logo, just for any time like we mentioned something like super hype or super like douchey, that you could use the Kith logo in the chat. By the way, if you're a member, you have access to all the members only emojis. Use the emojis. There's all kinds of cool emojis in the chat. There's AP, there's Rolex, there's all kinds of cool emojis in the chat. Try them out. They're fun. At one point, like when I first launched the channel, we had like 147 members, but that's because like a lot of people were gifted memberships. A lot of the haters got memberships who didn't renew. So do not do gifted memberships. But if you like the channel, buy your own membership. Luchabetic Mark just bought his at the $100 a month level, guys, which is pretty good. Thank you. I yearn for the days of Renault. And that's how it's pronounced, by the way. It's not pronounced Renault. It's French. So Renault is a good brand for a watch live stream because we're always saying things in Swiss.
Oui.
Yeah, the language of Swiss.
Oui.
Oui, oui, mon chéri. Yeah, check out those emojis, guys. They're fun. Johnny O says Rolex, McDonald's, Kiss Army, Patek Philippe, Porsche. Thank you. Got Speedy Horrendous. He says Rolex is the McDonald's of the watch world. Whoa. I love the creative use of emojis. Guys, we're naming, I think we're going to go for maybe another 30 minutes. Maybe another 30 minutes. Why isn't there an Omega emoji? Good point, Mark. Maybe I'll add an Omega emoji. That's a good point. I really should have one. That's a good point, to be fair. I think I have one slot for an emoji now. I'll have to check after the live stream's over. So I think
after the checks have cleared. You're gonna make sure the check's clear before you add the emoji.
Yep. By the way, I just received word. You guys in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have just been alerted to a seismic event that just took place off the coast of California. I just want to confirm if it's true or not. If anybody knows any information, please feel free to let us know in the chat. It looks like Northern California has been hit with a 7.0 earthquake off the shore in the Pacific Ocean, about 50 miles southwest of Eureka, California. So there's now a tsunami warning in effect for parts of California and Oregon. If you are in Northern California or Oregon near the coast, please tune in to your National Weather Service. A powerful earthquake of 7.0 just struck off the coast of Northern California. So please stop watching this live stream and pay attention to the news if you're there. Huge shout out and our thoughts are with people off the coast of California and Oregon right now.
Yeah, it was originally hit at 10:44 a.m. was felt around the Bay Area, but it's up north of it in Humboldt County. Originally was rated as 6.6, but then later revised to a 7.0 to 7.3.
It's big.
42 miles west-southwest of Ferndale. Just looking to see. Well, the tsunami warning goes all the way down the Bay Area. Yeah, nothing else.
Yeah. Thank you very much for people who've provided that alert. Really appreciate it. Listen, we're faster than CNN. Faster than CNN.
I'm getting this from Channel 5 in LA. KTLA.
Love KTLA. Yeah. Huge shout out to KTLA 5 in Los Angeles.
If you follow them on Facebook, you can always catch some interesting high-speed police chases.
Yep, I love their high-speed chases. The people who run the who fly the helicopters and operate the cameras there, doing a fantastic job. Yeah, we're going to be rebranding OCNN, the OC News Network, your one-stop shop for the latest news. Whole Milk says, let's call Mike the Snake. Guys, if you know Mike the Snake's number, I'm busy doing the live stream, but some of you in the chat have Mike the Snake's number. Please make sure that the Pantera or the Porsche or whatever, the motorcycles or whatever else he has are safe safe because they are in the warpath of the tsunami.
What about all of his urns and pottery that he does?
I think those have all been shipped out to to paying customers. I think that business. I wonder if he's still doing that business, still making the pottery. It got
actually you need to change it to the OCCSNN.
I don't even want to ask what that means.
The OC Chuck Schumer News Network.
See, I knew it wasn't something good. Earl's in the chat says, I'm in the Bay Area and my phone was screaming with the tsunami warning. Yep. Huge warning to folks in California and Oregon. A 7.0 earthquake has hit 50 miles off the coast of California. That's a big one. Luckily, that wasn't on shore because if that were on land, 7.0 is a very, very big earthquake. If there's something any of you guys want to talk about, let me know in the chat. Lots of incredible auctions coming up tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, Monday and Tuesday here in the New York City area. I went to Sotheby's and I went to Phillips yesterday where I hung out with a bunch of cool people. I saw John Reardon there from Collectability. I saw Adam Golden, Mento Watches there. I saw Marcello DeMarco, our favorite man bun auctioneer. I saw all the staff from Phillips.
Bun boy.
Yep. And the great team of Sotheby's, including Rich, who runs Sotheby's, watches for Sotheby's. Shout out to Rich. Good to see you again. And the team at Sotheby's was very, very helpful. They showed me a bunch of cool watches, a bunch of Patek Philippe's and vintage Rolex Daytonas. And maybe I'll share pictures on a stream later tonight, something like that. Let's see. Actually, I can pull them up now. Let me see. Maybe I can pull them up.
I'm now watching on a separate stream, a live stream of San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't want to pull it up because I don't want to get copyright struck from the affiliate.
This one has fewer viewers than you do.
Should we steal their original content and do spicy color commentary over it?
No, I don't see any super chats, so it's not worth it.
Okay.
It's only worth it if you can steal a lead or two, you know.
Let me, I am going to pull up ktla5.com. I don't want to play any video. Their site is littered with ads.
Cluttered
with ads. Yeah, actually, bet it's probably safer that I don't pull it up. But shout out to Negroni and everybody who's in the Northern California area. An earthquake struck Humboldt County in Northern California, was felt in the Bay Area. The quake was preliminarily measured at 6.6, but according to the United States Geological Survey, USGS, they later revised that to a 7.0 and then a 7.3, as you said earlier, Brian. Yeah, so the epicenter was 42 miles west-southwest of Ferndale and 54 miles west-southwest of Eureka. National Weather Service has issued a tsunami warning as a result of the quake. So, guys, stay away from the coasts. Lordafleck is in the chat. It says, what's the name of the two brothers who left Wolfen? Not the twins, the douchebags. I don't know. I have no idea.
Mike and Josh. Mike and Josh.
Oh, Mike and Josh. Okay, that's them. Mike and Josh. Mike and Josh were the two the preachers, the two preachers. That's right, who left Wolven to form their own ministry. And
the Ministry of Watches.
Give praise to the watches. Yep, they formed their own ministry. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Alpha Church or something like that. I'm watching a live stream of people that make me feel young. Thank you, Mark. Yes, I know which live stream you're tuning into right now. I with a panelist average age of 57. Almost everybody can feel young watching this particular live stream. So yeah, I think we're good. I mean, I think we're going to keep this here. But if anybody wants to change any of these rankings, feel free to do so. If you want to add a nominee, or if you want to move something around, if you want to bump European Watch Company, it has to be a super chat greater than $15. If you want to bump either Collectors or Nashville, it's a super chat. Has to be higher than $12. So $12.01 or higher. So just those are the rules. So if you want to contact Timepiece Gentleman in the Slammer and have him super chat $50, I guess technically Timepiece Gentleman could become pre-owned watch dealer of the year. I mean, those are the rules. But what do you want me to do? I mean, rules are rules. Okay, look, someone has Stephen L. £2 super chat. What's up, Stephen L? Good to see you in the chat. Hope all is well. Thank you for tuning into the program. Brian, of those nominees that are still left on the list, which one would you not do business with? I don't want to compel you to give an answer, but it is a super chat. So
no, I'm happy to answer, but OC, I want your guess. Who? Just guess one, because there's only one.
There's only one. I'm going to say it's Bob's Watches.
You think out of that whole list, I would not do business with Bob's Watches?
Okay, let's see. Well, Avi & Co., I think you wouldn't do business with them because like the kinds of watches that they buy and sell are different than what you currently have. Is it Luxury Bazaar?
I would not spend a dime with Luxury Bazaar. Screw them. Not a dime.
Wow. Any particular reason?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody talk out of three sides of his mouth at the same time. Thank you very much.
To which employee are you referring? There's 2 or 3 of them come to mind.
Well, I mean, the only one that's ever redefined the term vouch into vouch as in vouch versus vouch for vouch or you know.
Okay.
I'm done with that whole. Yeah, I'm done with that whole game. Screw that. And you know what? I don't care what your political leanings are. The president of the United States is the person sworn into the office, and you don't disavow that person that's sworn into the office. Thank you. That's the end of it.
Yeah, he kind of did do that a little bit. Yeah,
not a little bit.
he kind of said, yeah, the person who I recognize as president of the United States, Donald Trump. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's not get too political. But
no, I don't. No, I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. The person that's in the office of the president of the United States and takes the oath is the president and the commander in chief. Period. And you respect that position. You may not like what they say or do, but you still respect the position.
There, we're going to honor Luxury Bazaar with a red mark of shame.
and vouch and all that and he knew he was in on something wrong every time he got quiet about something and just didn't say anything, because that's happened several times. Thank you.
Look at this, Johnny O. Thank you very much, Stephen L. I appreciate it. Good question, and you got Brian to confess. Johnny O, $5 super chat. How about a court jesters category for Luxury Bazaar? Yeah, they're.
How about dishonorable mentions?
There you go. Okay, so yeah, Luxury Bazaar court jester. Is that good enough, Johnny O? Or do you want it to be more prominent? Do you want me to create a separate line? Yeah. How about this? I can move them. Well, I think they're very visible there. What do you think?
Yeah. Can you type them upside down?
I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, okay.
How about this? How about if I is that better? There.
There you go.
Listen, you guys, I can change the spelling back for a super chat, but the super chat has to be higher than $5. But luxury, I didn't, guys, don't look, people at Luxury Bazaar, don't get mad at me. Like, I didn't, this is an enthusiast voted award. So like, if the watch community, feels a certain way about you, that's something that you should actually take to heart. It's something that you should consider.
Yeah, you want to change my perspective of your company? Hit me up on Instagram. It's Watch It's Brian. Slide into my DMs and let's have a talk. I usually charge about $250 to $350 an hour for consulting.
Okay, but they should feel free to reach out to you, though, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I'll tell them what they did wrong.
Here, for anybody from Luxury Bazaar who's watching, I'm going to drop the link to Brian's Instagram in the chat. Here it is. It's watch.its.brian.
Okay.
He's right here on the panel. If you want to jump on the program and confront Brian to his face,
I'm checking my DMs right now to see if anybody showed up there. Nope.
You can join the panel by clicking the following link. We're not scared. Brian's not scared of you.
Look, you can have my opinion, and it's my opinion, and I'll give it to you. You don't like it? Tough shit. Change it. I dare you.
John Yo says perfect. Thank you for confirming. I want to satisfy paying customers. You've used your hard-earned PAC money to influence the results of this election, and I want to show my appreciation. Holmuk says, reminder, Brian, you're going to have to pay full price for that Purnell in the future. Did you think about those ramifications? Did you consider the ramifications of what you said before you spoke out of turn?
I really just screwed myself out of that Gerard Perregaux chandelier that I really wanted too.
I know. And you were going to make an offer of $64,000, which would have been almost enough to recoup your money back by disassembling it and selling off the diamonds for wholesale value.
Yeah, the problem was I was going to offer 64,000 pesos, which
is the equivalent of like $17 US. By the way, that chandelier has got to be the biggest example of what Adrian calls the Roman buys ever in history. I mean, literally, can you imagine having $300,000 tied up in a watch for 4 years? Oh my God. The money, what you could have done with that $300,000 is the opportunity cost. I mean, you could have bought, being a gray market dealer, it's all about recycling capital, the capital velocity, so being able to use that $300,000 to buy watches that get sold and then using that money to buy more. And the velocity at which you do that yield is your revenue. for the year. So to have 300,000 completely unutilized, that not only that wasn't properly capitalized and earning money for the business, it probably cost Luxury Bazaar over $1 million in lost revenue as a result. That's I don't want to say it's corporate malfeasance. It's just it's a mistake, but it's such a cost. And there's so many of these quote Roman buys. That's why Adrian needs to be put in charge of. I mean, he needs to have like veto power over all purchases. Yeah,
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Adrian should have veto power over all watch purchases at Luxury Bazaar. But thank you, Johnny O. I really, really appreciate Super Chat. Let's see what else is going on out there. Any other interesting news, guys? Anything that you've heard of? Or anything you want to talk about? It's an open platform. I do want to say that I did see a video that, let me see if I can show this or not. It's got to go through the ads first. And let's see here. Very, very long ads. And then I'll share my screen. Share screen. All right, check this out. Let me see if I can make this bigger. This is news out of the UK. And let me see if I can make this bigger. Watch this. This is in the UK. The title of the article is "Granddad Fights Off Rolex Watch Muggers in Central London by Swinging Takeaway Bags." So he is walking with his groceries or something like that. And just check this out. No audio here. Check out the granddad is in the bottom left of the screen, okay? And you can see that someone is approaching him from behind, okay? Check this out. So the granddad is in the bottom left, covered by that by the lettering. And now he's not paying attention. He's using the pin pad or whatever to gain entry into his residence. And then boom, up from behind, look what's going on here. This guy in a black shirt, black cap, and black backpack. This guy, this innocent bystander, looks like he's trying to help. Oh no, he's not helping. He's actually an accomplice. So there's two accomplices. There's two guys trying to steal the guy's watch, trying to steal his Rolex. And he actually fights them off. He actually successfully fights them off. Let's see that again. Wow, so there's actually one guy in black who approaches him from behind, and then the accomplice is standing waiting by. And he sees like it's not going well, so he kind of comes over to help, believe it or not. At first, it looks like he was trying to save the guy, but turns out he was an accomplice. Watch crime is a real thing, guys. You got to be vigilant. You got to be aware of your surroundings. But he fought them off. He fought them off.
I'm back.
Did you miss this?
I saw this. The grandpa that took him down.
Yeah, the grandpa that took him down.
There's also been a rash of watch rollings in Las Vegas in the last couple of months.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That one too. Yeah. That wasn't Rolex. That one was actually Richard Mille. Let me see if I can pull that one up here too. I just want to make sure that don't dox myself.
That's nothing new in Vegas, where you meet up with somebody and they're very eager to go back to your room with you. They pour you a drink and you wake up 12 hours later.
4 charged in $500,000 watch thefts at Strip nightclub.
Yep.
So,
oh, where'd you go? Come back. Come back.
Check.
There,
check.
You're back now.
All right, cool. 4 people have been charged in connection with the theft of 2 watches valued at a total of more than $500,000 from guests at the, and I don't know if this is Live, 54 LIV nightclub
Live.
inside the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Police said that the suspects conspired to steal the watches on 2 separate occasions, crowding victims in the club as a distraction while they stole the watch. Now, let me carefully read the names of the assailants here. Johan Hernandez Castillo, Milton Castillo Martinez, Brigitte Munoz Noack, and Laura Vargas Reyes. And I think I tried to stay true to their to the pronunciation there. Were all charged with grand larceny after Fontainebleau's security team used facial recognition software to identify them on the property Friday, according to Martinez's arrest report. The 4 suspects were detained at a hotel and taken into custody by Metropolitan Police Department officers. One man, Yiza, had his limited edition Richard Mille worth $400,000 stolen at the Live 54 nightclub on August 17th. Police said there was also another incident a few weeks separate from that. Zaw told police that he had been at the club with friends just before 2 a.m. Big problem. When he went to the restroom on his way out, Zaw found himself surrounded by a group of men who pushed and bumped him as he tried to navigate through the crowd. It was only later Zaw realized his watch had been stolen. Surveillance footage reviewed by the club's management team corroborated Zaw's account, showing him enter a bathroom as a group of men monitored his movements.
Yep.
And then after that, he didn't have his watch on. Nearly a month later, on September 15th, the same suspect smothered a second victim, Roman Loyenfeld. Roman Loyenfeld, who was wearing a Richard Mille worth $120,000. Yeah, so be careful if you're at a strip club in Las Vegas, guys. And welcome back, CQ.
Thank you for having me back. How's it going?
My pleasure. By the way, if you want to learn more about CQ's watch club, group of enthusiasts, private group of watch enthusiasts and collectors, check it out at officialcptime.com. That's officialcptime.com. I'll drop the link here in the chat to learn more. He's doing a private event for his group of collectors on December 14th.
Yes, sir.
In Los Angeles. So if you're close to Los Angeles, or if you're not close to Los Angeles, fly out there, make some accommodations, and hit CQ up on his Instagram.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You mean to tell me that airplanes go to Los Angeles?
It has been known to be so.
Oh shit, that's bad news because that means my family can escape. Damn.
If you want more information, check out officialcptime.com, and you can reach out to CQ at CQ_the_watch_guy on Instagram.
So yeah, and CQ, before you were going to leave, you were going to give us your private 10% off DavidSW code. So go ahead.
I can't give you a private 10% off code, but I can tell you anybody who reaches out to me from this stream, I will do my very, very best. You know, everything's individual, but if it's a watch that I can do something crazy for you, I will. But no matter what, I'll try to do something special for you. If not in the form of a discount, maybe, you know, a unique gift or something like that. I try to make, you know, for the watch colony, the original C guys, I'll make something happen.
Yeah, just mention OC or the watch colony, and you'll get a 10% increase on your price at David.
15. If we're going up, we got to go up big.
I can tell you in a quick skim through the DavidSW website, I noticed that you have the lowest priced full set Longa Odysseus white gold available in the US right now. And there's a purple AP with diamonds on it that seems to be $10,000 to $12,000 less than I could find it anywhere else.
Okay.
You know, I'm glad that you say that. I saw somebody. I think it might have been my friend John, who's beat me in the vote in there. But you know, oftentimes we do have some of the lowest price pieces out there, depending on the watch. As a matter of fact, I just helped a client acquire a Yachtmaster 40 Everrose Gold Pave Diamond dial. We had that up there for $38,975. The cheapest other one on the market is like $44. You know, so certain times and a lot of the time we will have the lowest on the market or very, very fair price for what we're offering. There are times where our prices will be premium, but you know, I think you should always take a chance and look at the website for yourself. Give me a call if you have any questions about the pricing, because it might seem high, but when you look at all the watches in Chrono 24, you select the watches that are in the US, we have the only watch. And that happens like many times, especially when you're talking about, you know, Lange and certain brands like that. We're about giving fair prices. You know, whether you buy or not, you always know it's going to be a good experience with us.
And if you're coming through Orlando, stop in and see Yassine, because he's absolutely wonderful.
He is amazing. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for shouting him out. He is a gem of a person. Super, super nice guy. Makes the best chai tea in the world, by the way, too.
Oh, no, he hasn't made me tea. All right, now I got it. Okay.
That's extra. I don't know how much you spend, but that's a big boy. You know, that's a six-figure, you know.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
I'll tell him next time to take care. I'll tell him for you know, you're an OC guy. I'll tell him do something nice for you.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to the 1916 company. Your former colleagues there. They do a 1916 company live every Wednesday, I believe, and they do something cool, which is they also bring watches that are not available on the website to kind of show for customers who want you're gonna get a quick preview before it goes on the website. But yeah, I mentioned earlier that actually Nick Da Vinci here says in the chat, Tim Masso definitely watches the colony, whether he says he does or not. Yesterday was proof. Yeah, yesterday was proof for sure. When they started talking about a topic that we had been covering on the show, CQ, we were talking about AP collaborations and booting AP from the Holy Trinity, and they started talking about it on their live stream, which I think it's flattering that they watch. It's cool. All the cool people watch. It's okay. It's fun. It's okay to come out of the shadows and admit it, and to jump on the panel and talk. So I'll drop the link if Tim Masso wants to reunite with his good friend CQ on the panel.
We make magical content too. If Tim's here, please jump on. I love Tim.
I know.
Yeah, and Tim, if you're listening, I want to know, is the beanie because you got a bad haircut, or was it just really cold in the studio that
Come
day?
on.
I'll be honest with you. It can be very cold in that studio. They are in Philly, and that it's on like the top floor of the building, and that floor does get a bit chilly. You might just be going overboard for fun, but it does actually get rather cold where they're shooting that where they shoot the
very diplomatically handled, CQ. Well,
was he silently sending a message to the Govberg saying, "All right, spring for some heat, people"?
No, it's just a very big building. It's hard to heat something that's I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to go. Definitely check them out. Tell them CQ sent you, take a tour. But it's a huge building. So that floor in particular, a bunch of open spaces, so it's chilly up there.
Yep. Real quick, Keslowitz is in the chat. Keslowitz is in Los Angeles. He's an event in LA. I'm there. Yeah. See, chat. Reach out to CQ at CQ _ the watch guy.
It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a very fun event. And I'll be on here more. So like as next year comes, we have a lot more brand partnership events coming. And definitely this is for everybody who loves watches. The group is for you. And we're really focused. As you can see, all these great communities are getting to tap into brands. And I'm very focused on creating a pathway for people to communicate with brands, have experiences and events, and learn directly from the brands or very, very well-established ADs who brands want to do collaborations with as well. So definitely, if you're in LA, stay tuned, but feel free to just join up and check out that site and stay tuned. That's where like you see a bunch of just random events. We did a great one with Louis Vuitton. So you'll never know, we might have a random event like in your town and just, come on by, come have some fun.
Yep, you can learn more at officialcptime.com or reach out to CQ. He'll hook you up with all the details about December 14th in Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Singer in the chat upvoting, reminding everybody to upvote the live stream. Thank you. And shoot CQ a message if you have any questions about it. So yeah, I mean, I think this could be the hottest new duo in watch live streams.
I'd agree. If people don't know who Armin Johnson is, who's on the left of Tim, very, very knowledgeable salesperson. I believe he's a sales manager now over there in 1916. I've worked with him for a long time. Super duper knowledgeable, especially when you're talking about independent watches. He, like myself, has helped a lot of great collectors collect great pieces right before the peak and then during the peak as well. But I agree with you. I love watching both of them talk, and they're both super knowledgeable. Tim is already, as knowledgeable as you could get. But Armin adds a little bit of a little suave, a little bit different charisma, but also very knowledgeable as well.
Yeah. What do you make of the fact that they felt very, very comfortable taking a few shots at AP's recent questionable collaborations? I mean, I understand that 1916 Company is more about some of the mainstream brands as well as some of the leading independents like FP Journe, Moser, Longa, Debitune. Why do you think they felt so comfortable being able to take a few digs at AP? Is it because the business doesn't really center around it so much? Or is it like, you know what, enough of this bullshit. These guys need to be called out for some of these fucking ridiculous and embarrassing collaborations. They are tarnishing the brand, and it's about time that people fucking felt comfortable just coming out and saying, guys, what the fuck?
I want to answer for CQ because I think the answer is, and then CQ, you can tell me I'm wrong afterwards and come up with your own answer.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is that they're going to be honest agents, and that they're on the consumer's side, and that they don't owe anything to any brand. They're just going to be out there and be honest agents and say what they think.
I agree with you 10,000%. And I love that, honest agents, because that's what they are, right? When you're a good secondary dealer and you're blessed to be in a place that you sell so many different brands, you get to be an honest agent and get to guide people into brands. And if you see something you don't like, you get to say, I don't like it. Who's going to tell Tim Masso he's wrong? Is somebody from AP going to send them a letter about this? I would love to.
No, they're not. Tim Masso's too powerful at this point.
Exactly. Literally, not even powerful like as a person, because Tim isn't somebody who would wield the power that he has in that way. But even if a letter was to come out that AP sent word to Tim Mosso that they just didn't like the way he spoke about them, we as a community will come to his defense because
Right.
this is somebody,
We would burn AP at the stake if they dare attack our great Tim Mosso.
things would be shaken up. I personally would come to his defense for sure. But they're honest agents, and I think what a lot of people have to remember is the way that the AP business is now, the distribution network and everything is now. If we turn back time, right, you just go back a few short years ago, 2017, 2018, Govberg Jewelers was an AP authorized dealer, right? They were a good authorized dealer for them as well. AP pulled out from so many dealers, right? So
Cellini Jewelers and all of the great
like,
retailers. Yeah.
Exactly, good retailers. Not to say, they pulled out like what Rolex did and trimmed up some of the 50-50 guys and things like that. Like really solid dealers, they took themselves away. So once you take yourself away from that network, I have no reason now to try to sell your watches. 1, 2, there's no love either way, right? So I sell your watches pre-owned, but if I see like you're not doing the best job with your product, I get to be honest with you. Not that I wouldn't be honest before, but now I really have no reason because I'm not even protecting my own inventory because nobody cares about the pre-owned AP market will do what it does. It's a modern AP that's the issue. And I think they kind of took away a lot of their friends in terms of authorized dealers. So there are a lot of people who aren't there to back them up, right? Like for me, I have no real reason to champion AP beyond the fact that I'm just a fan of the brand, but there's no financial impact to me of me talking positively or negative about them. I love to do an interview or collaboration or something, but I'm not a bot. Nobody can buy my opinion. But I think for a while now, they've kind of cut off those AD relationships, which in turn, collectors who those ADs would have talked to about their brand, they've kind of gone on to other brands. So when I think AP is a little bit alone in the room, because they wanted to go for a little bit of a high-end customer and do their own thing, but it leaves Tim and Armin in a position where we're just going to call it like what it is. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason that I have to say, oh my God, this is an amazing watch. If I don't, what's going to happen? I think it's a well-made watch. I'm not saying that you're doing bad quality work, but at the end of the day, I want to be an honest agent and I have to be honest with my clientele.
Yeah. On the pre-owned market, your most important person is the customer that's buying a watch. Your
1,000,000%.
Your second most important is the sources that you're getting the watches from.
Yep.
And they're not the brands, so what do you care? I mean, ADs will push shit on you all day long because they owe the brand X amount of sales and volume and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yep. And certain brands wield a hefty amount of power and they want a certain amount of real estate and they want you to pay bills up front or do 30 days, but then they also want you to hold inventory that isn't the best moving that you got to pay for. It can be a weird relationship sometimes. And then it turns you off, right? If you did everything to get your jewelry store, your dealer to be the watch store to be how it wants to be, then all of a sudden a brand gets super successful. They look at you and they're like, hey, Brian, it's been great, but I'm just going to make my money by myself now.
Even worse, what they'll do is, you'll only give us 2 counters or 18 linear feet here. Well, you know what? Yeah, you're doing $1 million a year for us here, but we're going to give we're going to support a competitive company with a direct boutique in the same mall.
Yep.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy, and because it's just like that, and it's so hard. And I used to manage a store in Alaska, right? And in Southeast Alaska, we're only open for 5 months. So I remember just fighting with dealers who, in September when my month is closing, not dealers with brands, who are shipping me product, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to close for 6-7 months. What am I? So you're telling me I'm not supposed to try to wholesale all this inventory out? I'm supposed to just leave the capital sitting in a safe in Alaska because you also don't want me to outship to other consumers because I'm infringing on other people's regions. You know what I mean? So it's certain decisions like that it's like, hey, how tell me how in the world that doesn't lead to a gray market issue in the future. Not to say that company does, but I know many other companies who are in those situations who don't have a great capital situation, a good nest egg to be able to go with the ins and outs and the flows. And then, the financial market dips, you're stuck with a bunch of watches. What do you do?
Yeah. Or then you have certain companies that say, hey, if you're going to do our CPO program, we really don't want you talking about it on your pre-owned website business.
Don't even get me started.
Did I say something?
It is very, very true. Is many brands have many rules on how they want things to go, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. But I think they need to realize that this is an ecosystem, primary and secondary. Like, to me, the biggest issue for the past 20 years is that the primary market didn't want to recognize that the secondary market existed. Like, they just ignored. Like, when I was trained as a salesperson and somebody, like, I sell Breitling in the Caribbean, my max discount is 15% on a steel piece. Maybe I'll do a little bit more on a gold piece. And then I'd have people showing me Joma Shop on their phones, or on, hey, pull up Joma Shop. They're giving me 30% off. And I was trained to say, hey, that's probably fake, bro. That's probably stolen. I was trained to put a negative seed in that consumer's head. It wasn't until I went to the secondary market, and I will never forget. Oh my God, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Going to IWJG show, seeing so many watches, going in the back, and there was a few Hasidic Jewish gentlemen with buckets and buckets of Graham watches, fully sealed, whatever percent off, and I was just like, what is this? Well, how do you have these watches? And then my third eye, I always say, open up to the industry. But then I always look back as like, why didn't all these guys start a CPO program way back then? Cars have been doing it forever, and all the issues a lot of these brands have now could have been solved if they controlled their own pre-owned market. If Hugo decided to split their marketing budget and control CPO and buy product back from their consumers, they would do 2 times the business. And that goes with pretty much every brand out there. Marketing is great, but what people love is being able to buy a watch and call me, and me not have a silent pause before I give you the number, because I'm a nice guy. So I don't like to hit you in the nuts. So I have like that moment of like, they even want to give you the number. And what people love is when I say, hey, you're only going to lose 20%. That's not bad. You're only going to lose 30%. And primary brands can control that if they invest and get the right people to work their secondary market. But it's crazy that for so many years, they let secondary market dealers do all this business and not even try to partner up with some of them. It's very interesting to me.
And don't let them have parts either. Keep the parts in-house.
Please don't. You guys don't want me to be long-winded today. That's another day. Let's not get into the parts and all this. Let's keep it light. It's how it is.
No, I'm gonna keep poking.
Yeah,
we do know that the 1916 company was directed to remove Rolex from a lot of their social media coverage.
All I can say is that Rolex is very protective of their image, and I think they go on the blanket policy of let's just don't let us do the promoting. You guys don't do it. Let us. We want to control all of our messaging. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, because they do such a good job. I do think in certain situations of like, okay, I guess, you know what I mean. But it's like, I don't see what's wrong with being forward and talking about the second, because again, every year millions and millions of watches are being produced and put on the market. These watches are not cars. They're not ending up in a junkyard and will be smashed one day. The days of Simon Sphere smashing gold dated for the gold in UAE, that is not happening. These watches are being recirculated and they're being refurbished. So to me, you make an amazing vintage department like Patek Philippe and JLC and all these other brands, and you tell people, hey, you love my old stuff? I love to sell you old stuff. And I have watchmakers who've been here for 30 years who know how to, and like, to me, you lean into it. But again, I am but a small watch seller, and they are a big multi-billion-dollar company. So I don't know anything. I'm just blessed that they sell enough watches that I get to resell the watches they sell,
You're just secondary market, and you live off of the chum they throw off the boat for you.
I am but a fish merchant, and whatever the ocean provides, I sell. That's how I believe it. I don't, that's how the world works. And I'm happy to, I'm happy to sell any great quality watch to consumer who is looking for it.
It was revolutionary and kind of an industry shakeup when Rolex decided to finally get into the secondary market by doing CPO, partnering with Bucherer in Europe first, and then adding a bunch of other retailers, but then also buying Bucherer, which brought them directly into kind of the secondary market. And then Vacheron has followed suit. As you know, they just announced that they are doing a certified pre-owned program through a Watchfinder, which is part their brother at Richemont. So they now have CPO, and of course AP. It's no secret that they'll be launching official certified pre-owned program probably as soon as first quarter of next year. It's public knowledge that they hired someone from Vacheron to run it. It's public information. So there is an Audemars Piguet certified pre-owned program that's about to be rolled out from AP.
I wish them the best of luck.
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you can give people an alternative, because right now flipping is, I mean, customers are afraid of being blacklisted from AP.
Yep.
There's this concept called safe sale. If you're in some of the dealer chats, like, hey, my customer needs a safe sale. In other words, you agree, kind of fingers crossed, not to
not register it.
To not register the watch on AP's website, because they will flag you and blacklist you. But I mean, if you could go back to AP and say, hey, you know what? Okay, cool. You're offering me a rose gold Royal Oak. Great. Can I now turn in my code 1159, or can I turn in my previous Royal Oak or whatever as part of a trade-in deal? I think it's a good way of kind of getting customers to buy more watches maybe than they might not have already agreed to by doing that.
And now you just brought up exactly why I love the gray market, because CQ's not pissed off that I sold the Laurent Ferrier that I bought from him years ago. He doesn't give a shit. He got the sale. The watch moved on. I moved it on. It's over. I'm not blacklisted from CQ because I sold a watch that he sold me. Yeah, a bunch of bullshit.
I'm happy. I'm happy I was able to sell you something that you're able to then sell or trade or continue your path. I'm just a steward of the hobby. You know what I mean? I just come in, you need to get the ship from here to here. Like cruise ships have pilots, and when they go into the port, the pilot comes because the pilot knows the ins and out of all you could beach your ship, whatever. So I'm the pilot. I just come aboard your ship. I show you, hey, don't go there. You might hit this a little shallow there. This is a great place to dock. They got better fees over there. And then I jump off your ship, but it's your ship. I feel very weird. I would feel very weird to sell somebody a watch and then have to have something like in my phone that says, hey, Brian can't sell this watch until December 2025. Yeah. You worked so hard for your money, man. I don't know what you do, but it's not my business what you do with your product, but what you work very hard for, it doesn't matter. I would hope that we'd have a relationship that you won't flip on me, or Julie say, hey, man, I need to move this. I need to cash it out and let me facilitate the flip. But if you don't, well, okay, we're still friends.
Yeah. No, you left me. You went off to Dubai.
Yes, things happen. I didn't want to. I wanted to keep all my clients, but there was that was not allowed because which it would have been unfair because I would have.
You left me.
I'm back now. Look over here.
He's back. He's back in the States. He's by. He's between Orlando and Miami. By the way, you mentioned Brian earlier. This white gold Longa Odysseus with the rubber strap is available on DavidSW for under $50,000. It's from 2021. It looks like it's in excellent condition. Let me ask you a question, CQ. Everything looks like it's in mint condition on the website. Does every single piece go through a cursory review and a touch up and a light polish to get it looking factory fresh? Or there's some watches where you say, you know what, on this particular piece, like a GMT Master 2 Coke or whatever, we're not gonna polish it. We're gonna leave it unpolished. I mean, because overwhelming majority of the watches, listen, customers like stuff that looks new, right?
Yes. So this is the issue. Go ahead. Sorry.
So is your philosophy at DavidSW? You know what? Our customers are generally customers who they like the new look, and so we don't want to put a bunch of stuff out there that looks like it's scratched or dinged or has character or whatever. Customers who come to DavidSW, they expect stuff to look factory fresh and mint condition, and that's just our approach as a company.
Mm-hmm.
There are other people who may specialize in vintage and keeping the character and the marks and the scratches and all that stuff, but as a philosophy, we don't like to do that. What is that an intentional decision on your part, or am I just flat wrong, or what?
So I would say, since my first experience with selling watches online, I was always thought that when you buy something, no matter how nice CQ sounds over the phone and all the good emails and island time and all that stuff, when you get the watch and you open that box and you open the watch box, you want to see a good looking watch. You want to have like that good feeling of, oh man, I wired X amount to this person I don't know. I got the watch. It's actually a good looking watch. You don't really want to deal with the like, I love the watch, but it's nicked here on the lugs, it's scratched up here. Unless you're a savvy collector who is in it for that type of thing, then it's different. So for us, one, we try to buy the best quality condition-wise watches as possible. So we honestly don't have to do that much work to it. If a Rolex or something comes in that's a few years old and it needs a light touch up so it looks really fresh and retail ready, and when you're talking about Rolex, most of the touching up is just like on the bracelet where like most wear is going to be, then yeah, of course you're going to get that touched up by the team and make it look as retail ready as possible for you. If it's a vintage piece, we have plenty of vintage like root bears or older Pepsis that the bezels are dinged up and chewed up because we want to leave that as original as possible. So one, we try to buy the best quality stuff, but yeah, we're not afraid to touch up a piece to make it look as good as it needs to, unless it's something that it's like a collector piece. Like if we get in a certain vintage sub, I don't know, a red sub, Feats First or something, we're gonna maybe not polish that unless the customer says, hey, get that polished for me. But we just try to buy the best quality stuff. We there's a big, when the watch comes in, David, the owner, and some other people, everybody looks at each watch individually and they determine, hey, we should get this touched up. Hey, we think this is in good condition. But we try our best not to touch up anything that doesn't need to be touched up, or very lightly touch and just give it, give the consumer a wear. But at the end of the day, most consumers want to get a excellent condition watch, a retail ready condition watch on their wrist. I've worked with many different companies, and in the early days, I remember at like Watch You Want, because at that time, it became big. It kind of leaked out from the vintage world, this unpolished. I want it unpolished. And like people didn't understand what that really means, or like what they're looking at and why do you want it unpolished. If I'm buying a vintage watch from the 60s, okay, I want that unpolished. I like that it's lived this long and has all the marks on it. And maybe I need it to get polished by the right person. Maybe it's already been polished so much. And just to find something in unpolished condition is super rare if it's like 30 or 40 years old. If I'm talking about a Submariner, there's so many Submariners. Polish that thing up. I want it to look beautiful. Why am I, unless I'm somebody who enjoys the scratches, why would I search out a scratched up Submariner that I'm going to look at it for a week or two, get annoyed with the scratches, and then send it back to get polished? That's what was happening when at that certain time when there was a peak of people calling in and saying like, hey, is it unpolished? I remember a lot of watches going out, not polished, coming right back in. Like, hey, could you touch it up for me? And then I'm wasting shipping money. I'm paying extra, so for us here where I am now, most things we try to be in the best condition possible, but we're not afraid to touch up a modern, regularly produced watch for sure.
It's a good song.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, I like that.
By the way, I want to quick shout out to Ryan James, who's a member for 3 months and joined the conversation, fellas. Thank you very much, Ryan James. Johnny O in the chat says, what is a CQ's list of best buys under $20,000? So I did a search here on DavidSW. These are all things that are under $20,000. Is there a particular brand that you think at the $15,000 to $20,000 range pre-owned is exceptional and people should be giving it a second look? Like here, we have Blancpain, we have tons of Blancpain that are under $20,000.
So I think Blancpain, you could get some really good stuff. I think Brigade, we probably don't have too many right now. Actually, no, we have a nice Brigade Marine Gold. You could get really good stuff under 20K. Parmigiani, I think you could still get a lot of their stuff under 20K. Really good pieces right now. JLC, oh my God, you could steal some JLC, some really complicated pieces for nothing too crazy. Breitling, of course, my best under 10 brand is Breitling and Tudor. Great pickups, great value, unique watches. There's a lot of options if you're willing to open up your collecting eye, so to speak. Like that Blancpain Air Command, that's a great piece. If you like a little bit of a bigger watch, a chronograph, that's a fun watch. But it's hard. Under 20K is a great, to me, that's one of the best price ranges if you could get into that 15 to 20K, because you could really sit down and get the type of watch you want. Maybe not the brand that you're hunting, but at 20K, you could get a gold watch, you could get a complicated watch, you could get a chronograph, you could get a limited edition, you could get a decent independent, depending on what you're looking for. You could do a lot up to 20K.
And remember, if you're buying Parmigiani, you're getting a Richard Mille movement.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's a Varsher. Do the research. Who else? It's Parmigiani, it's Richard Mille, and somebody else uses the Varsher movements. I wonder who's going to buy them, by the way, because I know that conglomerate is for sale. But yeah, I'll stand by that. I'm just a very big, like, you charge me 200 grand, I need to see your old guy working on it, man. I don't know. I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah,
but if the right price came along for an RM, I'm all over it. Just so I can look young and sexy on my wrist. The rest of me will still look old and middle-aged. Yeah.
It's funny enough because it's funny you say that, because I was having a debate with somebody of why Grubel Forsey isn't they make such great watches, and like why are they so hot and not RM? And this person who's a big dealer, very well established person, just in 1 second we're eating a burger, he looks up at me and he's like, they don't have any sex appeal. If I'm in Miami and I'm at a bar, I gotta explain to a young lady, 3 hours why this Grubel Forsey. I gotta put her to sleep. You know what I mean? The RM, it's done. You know what I mean? It's an instant conversation starter. So many people know it, and it's like, But I just love the Grubel. I'm the guy. Talk to me 3 hours about the hand finishing that you're gonna cover up. I don't care. I'm that guy.
Similar things happening with Gronefeld, where the prices are coming down, but the finishing and the watches are fantastic.
Oh yes, Gronefeld, another great brand that you could pick up, and they're, like you said, they're leveling out. They got caught up in that. They're one of the brands, they don't have that much production capability, right? So a few brands during the peak of the COVID market, they kind of got jammed up, in my opinion, where like Gronefeld, they became supremely sold out, like years into advance. So it's like now they just got to focus on delivering the watches that they've taken money and deposits on, but it's hard to keep producing new stuff. But you want to keep the new energy coming in, because by the time you deliver the Principia from 2022, it's, you know what I mean? What are you going to sell them now? What was the next watch? But again, they're a smaller company. That's why I like the accessible grown watches that are coming out. Would love to see them in person. But another great brand, Gronefeld, just got to watch the price you enter into them at.
Yeah, they're expensive. A lot of brands that you like, Grunfeld, Laurent Ferrier, De Bethune, very, very pricey brands. But maybe in 10 years you'll look back and say, wow, I could have gotten De Bethune at only 80,000, or I could have gotten Laurent Ferrier for only 55,000 or whatever. And it's like, and they're probably double the price by then. You never know in this crazy hobby of ours.
Exactly. And I'd like to say that, yes, there are brands that are higher in the price point, but all the brands, most of the brands that I talk about, you can actually touch the people. The Gronefeld brothers, it's very easy to go hang with them. Very nice people. Go hang with them, see them, reach out to them, touch them. Mr. Ferrier, very easy to get into the orbit. I don't know if himself, very easy to really get, because these companies are so small that they're so interested in the people who are buying watches. And a lot of these companies, they're new to like the direct selling, right? So they don't even have a database with some of their clients. So they love to meet and interact with people. So you're spending a lot of money, but there's a lot of enjoyment equity is what I call it. You can get from these brands in terms of events, direct relationships or communication with the watchmakers or brand representatives themselves. And if you're somebody who want to go down that path, making collaboration watches, getting some stuff for your groups and things like that, they're pricey, but they also, you send them an email and they're calling you back, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Guys, our guest is CQ. CQ's with DavidSW, so we're just kind of going through some interesting stuff on DavidSW. Like I just doing a search here for Patek Philippe and looking at some stuff here. Is there any particular model, either of Patek or?
So I think if you're sticking to Patek, that 5960/1A, that's a good buy. I love that watch. The 5212 weekly calendar. That's a great watch as well. Get like 5 different shops with that watch and you'll love it. I think those are priced supremely well. Surprised they're not doing stronger. But I love them. That's what actually bought that watch. It has good energy on that. So that's a good piece to pick up.
5212 is steel. And so that's probably the explanation for that one. It's like people want to pay for precious metal at near that price point. This one is an acquired taste. For sure.
Yes. I remember when this came out and it was such at least where I was selling Patek, like people didn't know what to think of it. So people didn't know what to think about this watch, but then it sold so fast. Like it was a watch where like in the previous system down there is like certain watches, certain people got to sell first and then it kind of trickles down, right? But I remember when the 5960/1A released, they were like, hey, just sell it. Just whoever, we don't care, just sell it. But then it became so hot because it's such a nice, fun watch. It's a sporting chronograph annual calendar. I'm a big fan of the 5960. Then the black dial came out. It was only made for 9 months, and these both secondary market during the peak COVID times both went insane. But I think now it's a great piece. They didn't make too many of them. Stainless steel Patek is still the rarest Pateks you can buy. Annual calendar, chronograph. Patek invented the annual calendar. A lot of great reasons to buy this watch.
If you can find the black dial, it's going to be about $30,000 to $40,000 more.
Yes, sir. Insane.
OC, I put a couple of favorites in the private chat.
Okay, let's. I'll be happy to pull them up. Okay,
I'm gonna try to sell a couple watches for CQ because.
Hey, who wants to make the pitch? You go first, Brian. Talk about it.
So the 37 millimeter size AP is way bigger than a 37 millimeter in anybody else's. And this has got diamonds on it and it's a limited edition and it's just fantastic. And I actually saw this morning and was skimming through it because this just came into you guys.
Yep. This just came in.
Yeah. And the closest comp I could find was about $20,000 more.
Yeah. Like I said, we price pretty fairly. Like sometimes you might look at it and we're like a little bit higher, maybe on certain Submariners or GMTs, but you got to look a little bit closer. Maybe it's unworn. Maybe it's like a fully stickered piece. Maybe it's recently serviced. But a piece like this, we're in business to sell watches. I want to give you a fair deal. I want to get a fair deal. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell this watch for $78,000, even though out there in the right situation, somebody should buy this watch at $58,975. I think this is a great buy. If you're, for your significant other or yourself, if you enjoy a little bit more flamboyant watches, this purple is one of the best purples out there. It's deep, it's vibrant. Who doesn't love a good diamond set case? And you got sapphires in a nice gradient around the bezel. It's not for everybody, but for the right person, it's perfect.
Yeah. If I wanted, this is a watch because of my 6 3/4 inch wrist. This is a watch that I could share with my wife.
Oh, yes.
Some days I want to be on top. Other days she wants to be on top. It just depends on.
Yeah. Listen, you do what you got to do. Honestly, if I were to wear this watch, I would just take it off of this glossy strap. I would get like a dark purple rough suede, put it on that, and I'd rock this watch. Not like I'm a diamond guy. I'm not like if it was all diamonds and not the purple sapphires on the bezel, I'd for sure rock it because I like the purple. But I've seen some interesting watches styled like rainbow, rainbow, like Daytonas used to be like, but I've seen it, or even beach Daytonas. You see them in certain situations. Like, if you have the confidence, anybody can pull off any watch. Let's say that.
Yeah, listen, if you're walking around in jeans and some sort of dress shirt with some color in it, and you slip that on, you've automatically dressed up the entire outfit, and you can wear Skechers with it.
Oh, easy. A nice little Robert Graham. I like a nice little Robert Graham shirt. Yeah. Your AP, you got some Skechers on, you got some type of fancy jeans, and that's a Miami Art Basel situation right there. Actually, we should send this to Miami for the weekend. I could probably sell it down there.
Yeah. Now this is a very cool watch. Just for the wife, it would be great. Yes, you could wear it too, but it's a little long.
Yeah, it's for the ladies. Yeah.
For the ladies, but one watch that's not for the ladies and is my favorite Hublot in the current collection is this one, which you guys have available on your site.
Oh, a great price. A really good price on this too.
This is the full white ceramic with a full white ceramic bracelet, which is absolutely stunning in person.
Yeah, that I knew OC had been eyeballing that one, and since his internet went out, I'll talk for a while. There's a rainbow sapphire version in Japan that I've been looking at and waiting for the right deal, but I knew he would love this one because it's clean and it's a good looking watch. And the minute you see that Unico movement in there, you're at least getting the El Primero movement and not the base level ETA modified that's in the other Hublots and all the tags.
Exactly. I think that's the best point there. It's an all white ceramic watch with a in-house movement, the Unico movement, which is a great movement. And for $17,875, look at the AP ceramic. What are you getting? You know what I mean? How much are you going to pay for that? Hublot gets a lot of flack for sure, but I think they're some of the best deals. I was doing a debate with some of my friends, and we were like, let's talk about watches that aren't stainless steel or precious metal. And like when you look at the sapphire Hublots, you could pick up full sapphire Hublots for like 20 to 30 grand. And it's like a sapphire case watch. Nobody else is giving you that, but no. Again, we're in a world where you say Hublot and you get offended, like, somebody threw a stinky fish at you. But it's like, I look at the watch. I think you got to earn my money a little bit. And Hublot does a very good job of earning people's money if you're willing to look a little bit, especially pre-owned. You could get some really good watches from Hublot. And that white ceramic, I like a good white ceramic. I think you just got to make sure to clean it because the white just does show dirt a little bit easier. But beyond that, this is a fire watch. Unwarranted at this price. Come on.
I'm thinking of pairing it. I have the black ceramic Gerard Perigo Laureato.
Oh, nice.
And to match, have a black ceramic option and then have a white ceramic. Yeah, then I'm set for. Yeah, I live here near Orlando, so we're semi-Miami trashy.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit in between.
Yeah, but with a Midwest, kind of Golden Corral feel occasionally.
It's so funny. By the way, Gerard Perigo, that's another pick for me for under 20 grand. A lot of great watches you can get from GP.
Yep, and even close approaching the mid-teens and maybe even below the mid-teens.
Oh yeah, if you go a little bit older, you could get 9,000-10,000. You could get a good older Laureato sport chronograph or something like that. Fun to watch,
Yeah. And long story short, for those of you that are listening, because I shop all different websites and I'll buy from anywhere where the deal is. Sometimes you just have to, sometimes another gray market dealer will get something at a price and they're willing to just put it up and turn it and make their margin and move on, and they don't want to hold it. Or they may not specialize in that market. So they may be holding on to it for a while because they just don't have the buyers normally for that kind of watch. And that's when you move in and you find the deals, and they're all over the place. Some places you have to dig deeper.
1,000%. That is so true. Because look at my site. I sell a little bit of everything, but like I don't have 10 FP Journes or 15 FP Journes, right? So if I put up an FP Journe, I gotta let it sit a little bit to sell here, right? Because this is not what we mainly focus on. And some dealers decide that, like you said, sometimes you get a watch in, you bought it at a really good price, or you bought it in a big lot of watches. Sometimes that happens very often, actually, where you buy a lot of 10, 20, 30 watches. When you average everything out, you can just price, I don't know, a certain Submariner or a GMT really, really nice, make some profit and go on to the next day. And a lot of times that happens as well. So I always invite people, if you see something that seems out of the norm, especially with our company, give me a call or reach out to somebody and just ask a question. And usually we can give you a reason why it's at a premium price in your opinion. And sometimes we're just the highest and we just feel that that's the price the watch should be. And sometimes it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe we haven't priced this in a while. Let me get it repriced for you, or we can make something happen. But always ask. Don't just look and be like, oh, you know, these guys have the highest price, because there's always a story. And many times, like you said, you look at watches and we're like the cheapest. Like I literally sold that Pave diamond dial Yachtmaster, and we had it at 38,875. And I told the client, like, listen, you need to buy this now. It's not going to last. As soon as I sold it, 2 other salespeople walked in and they were like, I was about to sell it because it's priced so cheap and I'll never get that watch again with stickers on it. Never again. At that price, it will never happen. It doesn't exist, you know?
Yeah. And you can tell the age of a watch at DavidSW by looking at the SKU number, which is down below the PayPal buy now. The lower the number, the longer it's been there.
That doesn't mean the better the discount, you know, but it all depends.
I'm just saying. And then if it says MIA in there, that means that it's down there with CQ and it's not here in Orlando.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad we did that, because with the store opening, it became a little confusing.
Yep. So there's all your inside tips.
Inside tidbits. Yeah.
I would love to give somebody a deal on that Yachtmaster full Pave dial rainbow bezel as well.
It's a Tutti Frutti or the Skittles. What do they call that one?
So without the diamond dial, it's a Tutti Frutti. So I don't know the name of this one. Tutti Frutti Plus. You know, whatever you want to name it. You buy this, I will help you cement the nickname of this in the watch community.
Yeah, a lot.
Name the watch.
Yeah.
Extra Tutti Frutti.
Mm-hmm. But you do. How many? Do you mind saying like how many watches you guys typically have available at on average in a given month?
It's hard to give like an exact number. I'll say that we post online between 5 and 15 and sometimes 20 watches every day. So every evening, between 5 and 20, now in the holiday season, closer to 10 every day pop up. So I don't know. We probably have
about 400, probably 400 watches.
Yeah, exactly. But things go in and out so fast, and we kind of pride ourselves in not having too much fat in our inventory, because it's easy to get 2,000 watches, right? I could buy and have 5,000 watches, but I want a few hundred watches that sell very well, that my consumers love. I don't mind experimenting a little bit. And many times I source watches for clients. So a lot of watches, we source watches for clients. So a lot of watches don't even make the website before they get sold as well. But yeah, around like 400, 500 we keep on the website. I think maybe more during the peak of COVID. I think they had a little bit more of an inventory. But every day, 10 to 20 watches go up, and we sell quite a bit.
Let me ask you, is there a set number of days that you consider to be like a trigger point where it's either going to generate an alert like, hey, these watches have been here past 7 days or 14 days or 30 days or whatever it is? It's like, in other words, that's like your not a red flag in a bad way, but like your alert that, hey, someone either needs to like hustle a little bit more, like to reach out to customers because these watches have been sitting too long and they're not, or we might have priced them a little bit off market a little bit. So is there a particular number of days outstanding where you go, okay, something's not right here, we need to do something?
I don't think there's a set number of days. No, it really depends the watch, because certain watches just take a certain person to buy it, right? And certain times you'll discount a watch and the person would have bought it at the price before you discounted it. You just happen to need the capital. We're in a very good situation where we're not like pressed to sell anything. So like I have like a Bell & Ross gold tourbillon on the website. I have like I think we got a iced out Hublot Big Bang. These aren't watches that I'm repricing every week to sell. They will sell when they sell to the people who are looking for that type of watch. It doesn't make sense for me to just keep dropping it, no matter what I bought it at, to try to entice somebody, because the person who buys a solid gold Bell & Ross Tourbillon, they're gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Like, as long as the price isn't crazy, they're gonna buy it. So I just kind of leave that watch up there and I let it do its thing. And maybe I do a little bit of marketing. Maybe I talk about it on a YouTube show or something like that. But in my opinion, something like that, you don't keep pricing down. Now, in a situation when the market was going up and down every day and you saw big swings, then maybe, you know, they would decide to, all right, let's review how the Daytona prices are looking today, how this price is and reprice. But right now, things are so stable. And honestly, we're blessed to have a decent turnaround on most of our watches that, you know, maybe something sitting like 6 months, 7 months, we'll look at it. Or if somebody, like if 10 of us get a call on one watch and all 10 calls are like, hey, you guys are crazy out of reach on the market. This doesn't make sense. There's 10 other dealers who have it 40% less than you. Then we'll all get together and be like, hey, we're getting a little bit of, are we sure this is the right price for that watch? That doesn't happen too often though.
Mm-hmm.
That Bell & Ross is ugly. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. I could price it at $1. It'll stay there. So I should just leave it where it's at. And the guy who wants a solid gold Bell & Ross Tourbillon will buy that watch. You know?
Yeah, they're coming in with their seeing eye dog and their sunglasses on and going, I like the feel of it.
Hey, the money spends, man. The card swipes, that's all that matters to me. You know?
Those are watches that you if they're really less desirable watches, are those watches that are generally brought in on trade. It's like, hey, you know what, the customer's buying this, so as part of the deal, they're trading in X and X, Y, and Z. So we kind of have to take them, but that doesn't mean we're gonna take a bath. It means like, listen, these are really hard to sell watches. So if we're gonna tie up 50 grand in capital and this thing's gonna sit for 3 months, then or 6 months or whatever, then it has to work for us because. The capital velocity is being hurt from our perspective. We're not able to churn over inventory with that same amount of money it's being tied up. I mean, Luxury Bazaar calls those Roman buys, right? Where Roman buys a watch with a Conjar dial because he likes Conjar dials. Well, you know what? Not a lot of people want a fucking sword with a fucking shield and bullshit, blood dripping down on their fucking dial
from an oppressive regime that doesn't treat women or never.
Right. So like say, you know, and he famously has the Gerard Perregaux chandelier, which he bought for 300 grand. He's been sitting there for 4 years. Like,
it's a beautiful watch.
Beautiful watch, but it's tainted. It's like it's worth the wholesale value of the diamonds at this point. But what I mean, so I guess long-winded question. Are there certain brands where, like, even if the client's a good client, if they're coming to you with a whole bunch of tutors or whatever, you know, maybe not tutors, but worse brands than that, where you say, listen, we'd love to be able to do a deal with you, but we can't take 2 or 3 of these particular brands.
What OC's trying to ask you is what is the margin you need to get on a Brema?
No.
Put it on the website.
That's such a Bremont, probably older Bremont. I love, because it's so funny you say that. I love old Bremont, man. I love the older stuff. Newer Bremont, I don't think I'd make an offer unless the market really showed that there's a real market for something like that. But yeah, there are brands that just won't sell for us. So if I have to take it in, it's gonna have to be a trade, or you're gonna have to give me such an aggressive price on it for me to make sense. So many times I just don't offer on certain brands, or it's a trade only piece. And you know, it's just life. It's the way the business goes, and like I gotta sustain my business, right? So I can't just buy all the dogs in the world. I know many companies that got stuck in that situation. They bought all the dogs and they were used as the dumping ground for a lot of collectors and a lot of businesses in the industry. And then nobody helps them when they need to bail out their business, or when nobody's going to come and say, oh man, you took a 20 grand loss on that AP perpetual. Let me take care of you. So we got to protect the business, right? We got to survive to fight another day. And sometimes you got to take if you have a watch that's no longer desirable, you got to make it a trade. You got to, go up on Chrome 24 or try to sell it privately, or, give it to your kids or your cousin or something like that. But it's just business.
You donate it to a charity raffle.
Wait,
Hey, let me ask you this, because
hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait for him to come back because this is a good one.
Completely unrelated to the subject of dogs. I pulled up some AP Royal Oak offshore divers here.
Thought you were going to talk about having to take your dog out to poop.
No, but the thing is in secondary, when you have watches that people are trading in, they're trading in because people are bored with those watches, or they're no longer wearing the watches or whatever. But other people, want those watches, and the secondary market gives people the ability to get that watch pre-owned and not have to wait. So, there are a lot of people who want these divers who don't have access to AP boutiques, don't want to wait 6 months or however long it takes to get their particular configuration. Yeah. And that's what the purpose that this serves.
Boom, you grab it and off you go. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at a Harry Winston that they've got.
Why would you do that?
Well, that's going to lead to my question for CQ, but he's
okay.
Yeah, he's. I think I scared him off. I hit all the hard hitting questions. Yeah, Bremont's a big seller in the Caribbean and in a lot of the duty free stores.
Really? Is there like a bunch of British pilot veterans that?
The first time I ever saw Bremont was in St. Thomas, and then every time I'm down in the Caribbean, there's always a Bremont. There's a Bremont sign in every port. Somebody's pushing Bremont. I'm like, okay, and I think it's maybe because of all the it's a cheap entryway into the U.S. market, and you get some UK market too.
Yeah. If you just joined the live stream, we spent the first half of the program selecting with your votes and your super chats the pre-owned dealer of the year. So these are pretty much finalized unless anybody super chats to change the results. European Watch Company came out on top. To change that, you have to super chat more than $15. Collectors 1946 and Nashville Watch are in the silver and bronze trophy categories. If you want to boot them, you have to super chat higher than $12 to move them down. And 2 honorable mentions, DavidSW and BQ Watches. And then we have a bunch of nominees there. And Luxury Bizarre was super chatted and voted as a court jester for, you know what I mean, court jester of secondary dealers, of pre-owned watch dealers for 2024. So there's your list. What do you feel free to react in the chat? But this is the list as voted by you, the watch community.
All right, back, boys.
All right, you're back. Here's my question for you.
Tell me.
I'm looking at the Harry Winston that you guys have on the website right now.
Ooh, the Project Z?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it is. It's big, it's beautiful, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah. And the reason I bring this one up is because from an SEO standpoint, does it help a online retailer to have 1 or 2 of some of these brands in stock to help them with getting clients to land on their page and then further shop around for other stuff? And the reason I say that is because in my previous life, we would oftentimes we'd buy in a little bit into a product line just to have it, not so much to sell it, but to grab those online consumers that were looking for it and have them wander around in the rest of the shop and find the other stuff.
I'd say sort of, but maybe not for Harry Winston. Of course, Rolex, right? That's why you want to keep certain Rolexes in stock, because you're going to come looking at a Submariner and you see other things. I'd say we do get a little bit SEO, because even when this is sold, the listing will be, still be archived, so the SEO will be able to get it. But I just don't know how many people are searching for Harry Winston for it to be worth the squeeze. I think let me rephrase this. Smaller companies would definitely take advantage of that, and it would benefit them a lot more versus us, where that's not on the top. Now, if a very hype piece comes out, we try to have that watch. When the pink Tudor Black Bay came out, we had that immediately. When the blue one came out, we had that immediately. We had a Blancpain the green Air Command that just came out. We had that right away. So we'll do things like that to take advantage of the new release attention, but not so much on the SEO. Like, hey, let's make sure we have because then you just have the money I spend on the watch isn't worth the SEO, if that makes sense.
Yeah, then you got a lot of dollars tied up in inventory just to get a few clicks.
Exactly.
Silly question, Brian.
No,
you should have known the answer.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to see if it was the same as what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting watch.
You know why I like it? It's got a date and a day.
Yep.
And a retrograde seconds hand, which is absolutely useless, really. It's just fun.
But it's fun, exactly. This is just a fun watch. For as much serious horology that's going on with this watch, and a lot of Harry Winston Project Z10 pieces are the same way, just unique retrogrades and ways of telling times. You got a retrograde day, you got your seconds, you got a date down there. It's a zirconium watch, which people don't understand. It's just a material that people don't dare to use that often. And nobody else is making a fun watch like this for you. That's the real point of this. Nobody else is doing what Harry Winston did or is currently doing with their watches and doing funky, crazy stuff. And I don't know who worked on this project in particular, but many of the older stuff, the Opus lines, you're scooping up things that are Max Boucher, Journe, Dufour, Coudray, all the greatest makers of the watchmaking world today ran through Harry Winston.
Yeah.
And so you could get like some great, if that's what you're into, you could get some great watchmaking horological pieces for prices, because nobody's looking at this watch. This watch doesn't get sold unless you already know about this watch, or I spend an hour and a half selling this watch to you. It's just one of those watches.
Like someone like PG would like this watch. AC Morgan would like this watch. These are people, collectors, and people who view the show. But it takes a special kind of collector who doesn't give. I mean, these are rich people, number one, but they like these kind of quirky, eclectic watches. They like Roger Dubuis. They like Louis Moinet. They like a bunch of these off the beaten path brands. They don't mind plunking down 20 grand on a watch like this, wearing it, showing up at a party, and talking about all the shit that you just talked about. Look, it's got the funky retrograde day of the week. It's got a retrograde date on the other side. These are unique things. They feel they show it off, and they're talking about the different metal that's used for the case. Yes, it's just different kind of. Not everybody's a hype collector like me and some of the other people. So like, for example, Speedy Horrendous says, put a crown on it, and OC will say it's incredible. That's right, we do. Depending on the brand, I will say that it's nice. Or Buckley, for example, says, ugly shit. Sorry. Hi, CQ. Double D's in the chat. Double D is in Pennsylvania, in the Philly area. So much horology going on in this watch that they completely forgot to pay attention to the aesthetics. No, the aesthetics are cool. They're just different.
Exactly. It's if you like that. Not every watch is for everybody. You know what I mean? Because most of us here, most people here don't like it, but there's some people who are like, oh wow, this is like the funnest, coolest watch I've seen in so long. That's the beauty about the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that the dating is the same way as watches. Because there was someone dumb enough to marry me, so that just shows there's a hammer for every nail.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes a watch just captures your attention, and that's okay. Of course, there's so much logical investment and value and blah 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 and horological goodness, but sometimes you're walking, looking at some watches, you see a watch and it just tickles you in a way that no other watch tickles you before, and you want to buy it. and you just enjoy it. And maybe it's not a brand that everybody else knows, and maybe some people snicker a little bit but it just gives you enjoyment. And to me, that's the watch you should buy. That's the watch. I don't care what name is on the dial. Buy that watch, because like it makes you feel good. And like at the end of the day, the watch has to make you feel good or have some memories or do something for you to be worth it, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what it is on the dial.
Yep. We're doing show and tell with C'Q of DavidSW. If you have any particular watch that you want for us to bring up, let us know in the chat. Give us either a reference number or a description, and we will do our best to pull it up. Brian asked us to pull this one up earlier. It's a beautiful purple dial, AP Royal Oak 37 millimeter, but with the rubies and sapphires and different color gemstone on the bezel, as well as diamonds on the case. Very, very unique. And then we also took a look at one that I had up earlier, which was absolutely phenomenal. That I will pull. Well, I'll just share this one again. Back to the Harry Winston.
Hublot.
Yeah, let me get that one back on the screen again. That one.
One other deal that I found on their website, I think. If I can find it again, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, they've been going fast, actually. It's holiday season, so everything is like moving.
Yeah, I love this full white ceramic Hublot, $18,000. You also have, by the way, just to go back, you also have the one on the rubber right here.
Oh, yes, we do. See, I thought we had two of them. Great watch, great price. Like that on the rubber, 12875. Come on.
Rubber, that's a 45 millimeter. It's way bigger.
Yeah.
Oh,
big.
yes.
Yeah. It's
way
a
bigger.
way big 45 too.
For the risk who can handle it.
Yeah. And then there's this great piece as well.
3,000 or 4,000 under
yes.
retail.
The
the line,
dated,
kids.
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah. I double checked before I. Yeah. Yep. And if you're out of state, DavidSW doesn't have to charge you sales tax.
Except for Illinois, we do collect for Illinois.
Sorry, Johnny O.
Yeah.
Get some friends next door. Get some friends in the next state.
CQ is not telling you to evade local state sales taxes. He's just simply saying, remember that there's a good friend that may want to buy this watch and ship it to a non-Illinois state.
Let me make a clear statement regarding sales tax, because I'm a little loose right here. At DavidSW, we do collect sales tax for Florida, Illinois, and any other states that we reach the threshold for. I don't have the updated list with me, but I would say that you do owe taxes on all your purchases, and many states do have luxury tax just for owning luxury items as well. So research all your local laws, talk to your local accountants. CQ is not here to give you any financial advice. I only sell
legal or tax advice, but
tax advice.
DavidSW encourages you to follow the law officially and report the watches that you purchase, and self-report any sales tax that you may owe.
Exactly. Nobody wants a callback. Nobody wants an audit or something like that. I've unfortunately, especially in my Caribbean days, some people who are trying to do some sneaky things and ship stuff out. Nobody wants the IRS on them for a watch purchase that you could have solved it for, sometimes luxury tax is very, very small. So that is CQ's advice, to pay your taxes.
And I want to take note that we showed that blingy diamond out AP on the screen, and George Varghese showed up.
Yep.
It wants to go home with you, George. I would love to send it on home for you for the weekend.
Yeah. If anybody's on DavidSW.com and they want us to pull up a particular piece and get CQ's advice or thoughts on it, or get the community reaction to it, just type in a comment in the chat, and we will do our best to bring it up.
And while you're doing that, OC, can you pull up the list of the online retailers again?
Yeah, sure. Happy to do that. By the way, the show is dedicated to naming the awards for best Pre-Owned Dealer of the Year. The community has spoken. The gold award goes to European Watch Company, silver Collectors 1946, bronze Nashville Watch. We have 2 honorable mentions, DavidSW and BQ Watches. That can change, but that's based on super chats. So those are the rules, guys. Sorry about that, but super chat higher than $15.
Well, I would like to make a double secret private suggestion to the rules committee that based off of the amount of time that he's been on with us, that has value. We move DavidSW into bronze and move Nashville Watch down into honorable mention.
Ooh.
But that would have to be the double secret private committee's decision to do that.
Listen, I appreciate the honorable mention. I think we did. We showed enough love to DavidSW. Well, I do appreciate that, Brian, and I would say that after this election, I think some reviews need to be put in place because the money that's in politics here, me myself, who put some money into it, I see how my $10 quickly was dwarfed. So next year I gotta do some polling calls or whatever they call. I gotta do some call banking and get my kitty a little bigger.
It's just like the Watch World CQ when you roll into a party wearing a yellow gold Day-Date and then you shake hands with somebody and they're wearing a fucking platinum Day-Date, right? You know what? There's always, and then the guy with a platinum date, shakes hands with somebody and it's a full rose gold Gerard Perregaux. I mean, a full rose gold Vacheron overseas, and then that guy shakes hands with somebody and it's a fucking Richard Mille. So you're always, there's always somebody richer than you. There's always somebody who's ready to put you in your place.
To quote Qui-Gon Jinn, there's always a bigger fish.
This is true. This is true. I've seen it many, many, many times, and it's a little quiet guy with that tiny little watch on his wrist. And then he pulls it out and it's like a Dufour and everybody bows. It's like it's like the Jedi, like you said, Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like, a Jedi master walked in the room and nobody noticed who he was. He had the cloaks on. He takes his cloak off and it's like, Obi-Wan is here. Oh my God, Obi-Wan's in the room. So everybody has to oh shit, I wasn't ready. I brought a fucking Rolex. Sorry for my language. Or this guy's here with a 2-4. I left the DB2 at home. There's always a bigger fish out there.
Always a bigger fish. Tell you what we're going to do. CQ's been on and been very generous, and Brian has been very generous with his time as well. We're going to end the show in 4 minutes, guys. 4 minutes. Final call. If you want to change any of these results, act quickly. We will close the polls in 4 minutes, and these will be your results. These will be published. These will be your official award winners for 2024. European Watch Company will win the gold trophy if nobody super chats something higher than $15. Collectors 1946 and Nashville Watch will take home the silver and bronze awards. If nobody super chats higher than $12 to change those positions, and that's the way it's going to be. And I'm very happy with those results. You guys voted for it. You guys voted with your super chats, and that's the way it should be. So last 4 minutes left on the clock. If anybody wants to change anything and support the channel, and show your appreciation to CQ for hopping on and sharing so much great insight with us. And by the way, I also want to say, while CQ is on, is that CQ is pull it up real quick. CQ is doing an event in Los Angeles. To learn more about that, you can go to official CPtime.com, officialcptime.com, and CQ is doing an event on December 14th in Los Angeles with watch enthusiasts and watch collectors, focused of course on hip hop culture, Black culture primarily, but it's open to everybody. So if you want to learn more about that, check out officialcptime.com.
Always a good time. Anybody who comes, you'll enjoy it. If you've ever been to any of our other events, it's a good time. It's watch collecting through the lens of Black culture. Just we saw there was a little bit of a need there because we went to a lot of watch meetups. We never, saw too many familiar faces, but it truly is a very eclectic group, and everybody's in there. Don't feel like you gotta be a certain shade to be in there. Everybody comes to these events, and we find that it's just a very nice, light, casual vibe, and we're very blessed to be doing some great partnerships with a lot of brands. So this is going to be a good event, but in the future as well, always make sure to to let you guys know what cool things we have in the pipes.
Yep. I'm going to drop the link to that website in the chat. And I'm also going to drop the link to CQ's official Instagram page. Make sure to check those out. He's getting a lot of value for money being on the panel today.
Hey, and entertainment. This is fun. I definitely should be selling some watches, but I still got an hour before FedEx comes, so I'm good.
Shout out to George Varghese, who super chatted $20, and as a result, he's actually changed some of the results here. G Varghese, $20 super chat. It's an orange, big fat orange super chat. Great watch, so OC. Always great to hear insights from CQ. As for Brian, sometimes we can't choose who hops on the panel. That's true. Happy holidays all. Nashville watch is number one, in my opinion. So based on that super chat, we're going to move Nashville watch down. We're going to move European watch company down to the silver. And we're going to move collectors 1946 to the bronze. That's the way it has to be, guys. Listen, G Varghese voted with his pocketbook. These dollars do influence the election process. Shout out to Chase and Nashville Watch. We got 3 minutes left on the clock. If anybody wants to change this order, it's possible. It just requires a super chat higher than $20. It's like an auction, guys. That's the way it goes in real life. The highest bid wins the prize. A bid higher than $20 kicks out Nashville Watch from the top spot. A bid higher than $15 kicks European Watch Company out of the silver spot, and a bid higher than $12 kicks Collectors 1946 out of the bronze spot. 3 minutes to go. Last chance. The gavel is up. So quickly enter your super chats and show your appreciation to CQ for jumping on the show by just super chatting in general. You want to say something?
Oh no, I said appreciate you guys for having me on. I always love popping on. Always a good group here.
2 minutes to go, guys. 2 minutes. We're all leaving in 2 minutes. No super chat will extend the show. That's but you can change the results of these awards. We will be naming your 2024 US-based pre-owned dealer of the year, and the results will be binding. There will be no changes for 2024.
They're more binding than eating a whole wheel of cheese. CQ, when are you coming back to Orlando?
I'm actually in Orlando right now. So I should let you guys know, I'm actually mainly now in Orlando. So most of my time is spent in Orlando because this is where all the watches are, to be honest with you. And I'm focusing more on trying to get more content and live streams and things like that out to you guys. So most of my time is going to be in Orlando, but I do pop in. I was in Miami last weekend. I do pop in every once in a while down there as well. So usually I'm in Orlando, but if you want to see me in Miami, just let me know. I'm happy to take a train down to meet with you guys. And I kind of pop back and forth. But mostly now we'll be in Orlando. So if you're going to Disney World, going to Universal, you need a little bit of break, come on over. I'm happy to talk watches with you.
You can drop the wife and kids off at the international outlets across the street. Then you drive over to DavidSW and hang out there. And then you hope the wife and kids don't call you too quickly.
This is honestly the best way. If you don't know Orlando and like you're coming on a trip and you're done the parks, so you could do that with the family, but the shopping portion, if you end up on Prime Outlets or whatever it is on international, let them go, give them the card, come over, let's have coffee, let's talk watches. You don't got to buy anything, but me trying to sell you watches for an hour or two is a little bit better experience than you being drugged up and down international, the Prime Outlets. Trust me.
Or being drugged, by the way.
Oh, exactly. That is never,
1 minute.
Go ahead.
1 minute to go. 1 minute till we end the show. And I just also want to mention that, as the 1916 companies, they're now doing weekly live streams. You see, European Watch Company is now doing a weekly
Yeah, they do a good
live
one.
live stream. I think you're going to see more and more retailers and pre-owned dealers doing live streams. With the demise of Hodinkee, they've made some disastrous choices, but there's definitely an inclination among watch collectors and enthusiasts not to tune into some of these corporate media sources that have gone astray over the past several years, and they're more inclined to use social media and to YouTube as a form of like a camaraderie and community and kind of a collective Zoom call where collectors get. And I'll be honest, your time is probably better spent here for an hour 2 or 3 times a week than wasting time doing whatever you're doing, cold calling customers. I mean, just by building a sense of community and reaching out to people here and the camaraderie, it's probably better for DavidSW and better for any retailer to be jumping onto these kinds of panels and building stronger bonds with the actual enthusiasts and collectors than it is doing what you guys normally do, which is who knows what. Selling watches.
I agree with you 10,000%, right? Of course, doing the normal stuff is great, but let's talk to the community. Let people ask questions directly, like you guys are asking me here. You saw something on the website, you think it's priced, I can just answer the question. In my opinion, and for all my time in 1916, the theme has been the same. Is like, let's take the walls down from information. Right. One of the best things Tim Mossa did is just give you all the information he ever could have and that he's read, because not everybody's going to go find the books and the forums and all that stuff. Yeah. But you get to access Tim and so many other great people that have come online. And let's give the information. Why not? Why should I hide this information and be the secret club when it's, I share information, you share information, the whole hobby moves forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's that kind of authenticity. I think it brings customers in to ask you questions and ultimately leads to new customers and loyal customers over time. So whether it's 1916 Company or DavidSW or European Watch or any of the great brands here, talking to people and building relationships, which is one of the things that 1916 Company did very, very well. And I think you're bringing that flavor and that culture or exemplifying that culture with DavidSW is something that is absolutely critical, and you're doing a phenomenal job there.
I appreciate that.
Huge shout out to Nashville Watch, your Gold Award winner for 2024. Pre-owned retailer of the year, pre-owned watch dealer of the year. European Watch Company came in with the silver. Collectors 1946. Huge shout out to DavidSW in the United States and BQ Watches in London for winning the honorable mentions. And that's the show, guys. Huge kudos to CQ and Brian for jumping on. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day, everybody. Have a good weekend.